Ace Boogie, joined by my co-host ZimWhoDey. Zim, say what's up.
What's going on? Hello, world. We got something special for you tonight.
Something super special. We got four-time Pro Bowler, four-time All-Pro, should be in the NFL and State of Alabama Hall of Fame.
Man,
we got Big Willie Anderson. What's up, Willie?
I'm good, fellas. I'm good. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good, man. You maintaining pretty good off of the COVID-19. I saw you were practicing some social distancing earlier.
Man, so I've been shut down for like 2 months. You know, I started to shut my program down, my academy down, about a month before they said total shutdown. You know, I was one of the ones. I'm already a germ phobia already. You know what I mean? My players know. You know, around me already, there's no sneezing, coughing, all this craziness anyway. So
Right.
this thing here had me paranoid. But now I actually started back training guys 2 days ago, but we got, we mask on, we doing the opposite of what Future say. we doing a mask on, and we kind of social distance still with the kids, and my college guys come back next week, and we just training guys at a distance, man, trying to stay back from guys, and doing the best we can, because I think, especially the high school kids and college kids, they got to get back out there moving around, but still kind of stay back. But I think they're going to be the worst off. The NFL is going to figure it out. They're going to figure out how to do the whole thing. But the high school kids and college kids, my damn thing will stay in my ear, they're going to have it the worst, I think, getting back started as far as conditioning and, trying to be injury free. You know what I mean? So
That's
For sure. That like I know there's a lot of different things that you could do from a virtual standpoint. Maybe, I don't know if some of the guys that you're training, do you ever just maybe do like a FaceTime or something and kind of go through them with some stuff? Or is it more like you need to get out there hands on with it just to get it on?
Yeah, good question. So when we were totally shut down, I learned that I can go on FaceTime and put 3 or 4 people on my FaceTime. I had no idea you can do that. So the first kid I ever trained on FaceTime was a kid out in Colorado. He bought my my training.olineblock.com videos from so I sell videos too to watch. Sorry about this, man. This thing's great. But it's different. It's definitely different training kids on Zoom and in your basement and watching kids, because you can't touch them. You can't put them in the correct stance and make them move the correct way. But I guess it's better than doing nothing, because all the kids now, the colleges are doing Zoom workouts. I had my guy Sadiq Charles from the Redskins. He told me, he said, man, yeah, we're going to minicamp tomorrow. I said, minicamp? You guys doing that? I said, what the hell? I said, yeah, a lot of you guys back in the facility. He said, oh, no, we're doing it on Zoom. I said, okay. So they're going to have virtual Zoom rookie minicamps on Zoom. How they going to do that, I have no idea. But it's still, because I see it with my high school kids, some of my college kids, they get back outside now. They're struggling. They're struggling physically. They're struggling, trying to go from not being outdoors to in the elements, so it's going to be different for guys, man, especially these big guys who, when they're in college, they keep these big guys constantly doing something in shape, because they know big guys can get out of shape the fastest. So getting your big guys back ready to play, I think is going to be your biggest thing. And then your little skill guys, I call big guys, big skills. The little skill guys, they're going to go from not doing anything to maybe overworking their hamstrings. You know what I mean? You're going to start seeing hamstring pulls. You might start seeing guys who weren't doing enough stabilization work having ankle tears and knee tears and all this crazy stuff. So I think the biggest thing now is to get these guys back functional, doing functional body weight stuff, and then you're gonna bring back the weights inside of that kind of stuff. But until these guys get functional training back, it's gonna be interesting, man.
Definitely. So a lot of people don't know that you actually started off your football career as a defensive lineman, and you were a diehard Reggie White fan, but you ended up switching to offensive tackle exclusively. So how did that experience, like from you being a defensive lineman, help you as an offensive lineman?
Well, my defensive lineman career in high school was short-lived. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and my high school, Viagra High School, out of Mobile, Alabama, out of Pritchard, Alabama, they won in the 8th grade in '88. They were ESPN's first high school national champion.
Wow.
So my 8th grade year, that was a big recruiting thing for me. I was a big 8th grade. I was like 13 years old, 6'4", 260. It was a big recruiting battle for me, because my mom got married. We moved out of my old neighborhood into my neighborhood, which is called Viagra High School, Pritchard Viagra High School. So going to high school, my recruitment wasn't a recruitment. It was just a battle where I lived at. And on the first day of practice, the night before practice, I get a call from a coach, real deep voice guy. Hey, He said, tomorrow, son, I'm coming to pick you up tomorrow for practice. I'm like, man, who in the hell is this calling my phone? I'm like 14 years old now. Now I'm in the ninth grade, going to the summertime night. Because back then we had practices and games before school even started. We had like 2 games before school even started. So summer practice started real early. And so this coach called me up. Yeah, man, I'm coming to get you tomorrow morning, son. I'll be there tomorrow morning. Who is this? Somebody said my name is Robert Brazile. I'm like, who? Come to get me, Robert Brazile. What's he talking about? So hang the phone to your mom. This dude said tomorrow, come and get me tomorrow morning. So who? Some man at Viagra High School said he'll coach Robert Brazile. Well, fast forward 2017, Robert Brazile just got inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh wow!
The class with Ray Lewis and those guys. His nickname was Dr. Doom. He was LT before LT. Ooh. So Coach Brazile was one of my coaches in high school, man. And we didn't have a YouTube. We didn't have any of this stuff. We had only his stories. And I tell guys all the time, I lived our Coach Brazile's stories. He was a rookie. He was Walter Payton's roommate in college at Jackson State. They both were first round picks in 75 draft. Walter Payton was the offensive rookie of the year. Coach Brazile was the defensive rookie of the year. He played 10 years, made 8-9 Pro Bowls. He was LT before LT. It took him 30-some plus years, man. We've been pushing him to get in the Hall of Fame. He finally got in there in 2017 with Ray Lewis and guys. So I wanted to be a defensive guy. Coach Brazile, the defensive guy. He's one of the defensive staff. And I told my coach, man, I said, man, I'm not coming to high school. I'm not coming to Viagra High School to be a D lineman. I said, girls don't recognize D linemen. Just back pre-Shaq, pre-Biggie. You know what I mean? Big dude went in like that, not on offense. I mean, so on defense, I said, look, at least on defense, the girls in the high school can hear my name. And my mom, my stepdad would know what the hell I'm doing because they just watch me go tackle somebody. Right. Non-football people with non-football eyes, my parents were, they couldn't tell what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? And I mean, I ended up being, 3 years later, I ended up being the number 1 player in the country in my position. I was a 6A player of the year in Alabama. I was the first offensive lineman to win 6A player of the year. And my mom had no freaking clue what I did. Wow. The only thing she saw was my homeboys. We kept 3 running backs in our backfield with over 1,000 yards every year with a big-ass O-line. My mom, my family thought my boys were all going to the NFL before I did because they knew they were scoring the touchdowns. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I said, man, but I became real popular at offensive line, She
probably started saying that mail coming too.
So my coach told me in the 9th grade, he called me. I played D-line the first game of the season against my future roommate in college at Auburn. And then we beat them and we blowing them out. So it's okay, second team D-line in. I go in my freshman year. I thought I made 4 sacks. So, oh shit, I had the quarterback 4 times. I had the running backs 2 times. That's 4 sacks and 2 tackles. A guy by the name of Mitch Davis. When Mitch Davis played here at Georgia. He's All-American my freshman year for our high school. Mitch Davis said, "Fool, they're running the wing T offense." those 4 tackles. Yeah, you just got them in the. I said, hold on, man. Hold on. I tackled the quarterback in the backfield. So you idiot. They run the wing, those tackles. Yeah. I was so depressed, bro. Like,
damn option. Hey, you know what I was thinking about, like, as you was telling this story too. I feel like this is a moment right here in this sense. Moving forward, you know how you was just saying, like, I just found out Zoom had like 3-4 people at a time, whatever. Yeah. You need to get everybody that you can, whether it be Ocho Cinco, get anybody off that squad, anybody that's still active on Instagram, right? And do like a 4-man, 5-man, like on Instagram and all that. You do
funny you say that. A lot of us
just need a round table of storytelling, like right away. Like, I feel like that's a weekly thing.
It can get dangerous, bro. Like if you've seen and heard. So I started off with I've started 2 or maybe 3 group text messages. One I put Carl Pickens in a group text with TJ.
Okay.
TJ never met Carl Pickens.
Okay.
But he know who he is, and Carl's same with him. So we talked through text. Corey, CD, Adrian Ross, and TJ were on the original text. I then added Achille. Achille just added Darnay Scott, who I hadn't talked to in about 7-8 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Who else?
But you know what I'm saying? No, you got
it'd be dope. Yeah, it'd be dope. I mean, because because Rudy.
And if you fusing like the new with the old, like a little bit, you get like because see, like once you get TJ in there, then you got Ross. So then you putting Ross in there with like Pickens or somebody like that, and just to hear the stories like on Path
But
Shot.
some of the stories these young guys don't need to hear about the oath. They don't need to hear. Trust me. Once Achilles, it's some stories on here you like, oh wow, man, I never knew that. I feel a little bit different now that you said that, like, because just from some of the stuff that Achilles talked about that he went through. Wait till you start talking.
I can see a lot of people. I will say the business side of it and the vested interest of certain people. Some people might not want to say some negative things about maybe it don't even got to be the Bengals. It could be about a daggone scout or somebody like that.
But then some people do want to say that stuff. I'm like, yo, chill, dog. Like, so those days can get crazy, But I think it'll be good because most people don't know. Like I was talking to you earlier, Zim, about how the importance of Jeff Blake was to this team. You know what I mean? So I was the Bengals' first round draft pick in '96. You know what I mean? So I got there, and I think I was the first lineman they had drafted in the first round in like 9-10 years. Like Joe Walter was still there from the '88 Super Bowl.
Wow.
I first saw the Bengals down in Mobile, Alabama in 1988. I was 13 years old, watching Munoz, watching Joe Walters, watching Max Montoya and these guys. And so when I get there as a rookie, Joe Walters is still there. Think about that, man. I was 13 years old in '88. I get drafted at 20. 7 years old, 7 years later, these players are still there.
Wow.
That kind of bugged me the hell out. Like, damn, Joe Walters to me is old as hell, but he's just 33 years old. The same age I was when I retired. I just always say, I'm never going to be that damn old playing football, how old Joe Walters is. But I was the exact damn same age when I retired.
No, hold on. You started getting people riled up. Tell them to Jeff Blake. Give him to Jeff Blake.
We just had Jeff Blake on the podcast.
I told Ace, I said, man, he told me something so great. So just the backstory on this, Orange is the New Black podcast here. We had Jeff Blake on here about 2-3 days ago. And there was some younger ZimWhoDey guys that were in here that was like, man, I had to Google Jeff Blake. But tell them. That hurts me. That hurts the hell out.
And we feel like he should have been that guy. Like we felt like Cincinnati didn't give him a fair shot.
He should have been a guy. He should have got on one of the 50 greatest lists. He should have been on some kind of list. Yeah, man. Because listen, folks, the stadium, Paul Brown Stadium, does not get built if Jeff Blake doesn't have the seasons he had in '94, '95.
Right.
I wasn't there yet, but I know the story. So '92, '93, the Bengals had two unbelievable, terrible seasons. And 92, 93 is my senior in high school. That's when Scarface had made the song. Scarface, the rapper, said, I've been to more funerals in the past year than the MF Bengals lost last year. I remember my senior year saying, damn, hope I'll never go to that team.
Oh, no.
My senior in high school, bro. Scarface said that line. Look it up.
And where I'm at in DC or whatever, Scarface is like Biggie here.
Yeah, he's like a legend.
I'm from Alabama, so down south.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little boys out there alone, but UGK, all them boys. So Faith said that 93. I said, damn, that's crazy. So 94, Klinger gets hurt. I'm a sophomore in college. I know the backstory. David Klinger, the first pick in the draft, gets hurt, playing real bad. Jeff Blake comes on as a backup. Jeff Blake told me the story. He said, bro, I used to be behind the huddle. He was on scout team, dog. He was a scout team guy. Bruce Cosby brought him from scout team from the Jets with him. He came from the Jets. He played at East Carolina. I don't remember if he got drafted or not. Probably didn't.
Sixth round.
Back up the Jets. Never played. He was backing up, I think, Boomer at the Jets. But he's a practice squad guy. Never getting time. Never getting very little practice reps. Got to the Bengals doing the exact same thing. To the point where he used to be behind the huddle, going over his stuff by himself because he wasn't getting reps. When the first two, in practice, only your first two guys get rep. The third team guy is a scout team guy holding the clipboard. That was Blake for 93, I think. 93. 94, both guys get hurt. Klingler and the backup gets hurt. Blake comes in, airing that thing out. The NFL was a running league back then.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a running ball. It was all about the tailbacks. They had never seen anybody throwing a freaking ball to the damn moon. He's throwing moon balls. Him and Carl Pickens. 94, they ended, I think, a 7-9 record, something like that. 95, Blake comes back and tear that damn thing up. The NFL has never seen quarterbacks throwing the ball. He was throwing deep moon balls to Pickens over his head, the city rocking. They started shaking Blake mania because he scored a touchdown. He'd be shaking. He was a running quarterback before the guys were running, and he was throwing that thing.
Right.
Had several Bengals passing records, 94, 95. Go to the Pro Bowl. Pitt go to the Pro Bowl. So now, the Bengals, as most teams were in the mid-90s, they were struggling with stadiums. The Bengals playing in Synergy. Was it Synergy?
Yeah, I think it was Synergy.
Yeah, that's
it was an old stadium they had from the back in the days, and owners make their personal money, their money put in their pocket and spend. That comes from the stadium. So if you can get you a big stadium, Redskins stadiums, Jerry Jones, Jerry World, the bigger stadium you have, the more box seats you can sell. That money goes in the owner's pocket directly. Wow. So now, the city of Cincinnati thought for some reason that the Bengals were going bankrupt. The Bengals told them we're going bankrupt. A rumor came about that, hey, there's an Ohio football team that's going to move to Baltimore for a bigger stadium. Well, we all know now that team was the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
But the Bengals got a stadium deal. They took Jeff Blake as the marketing face. Blake was a marketing face to the city of Cincinnati and said, hey, here's the guy of the future. This guy's going to be the guy who's going to fill that stadium up. We're going to have it rocking in here. They used Jeff Blake as the whole promotion. It was all Jeff Blake. He was the face of the program. They used him to get a stadium deal, which is one of the sweetest stadium deals in the history of stadium deals. That deal ran from, we opened up in 99 or 2000. I remember it's Achilles Smith rookie. I can't remember. 99, 2000. The stadium opened up. But it's basically a 30-year deal.
I would say it's a 30-year deal.
The Bengals get a sellout stadium. They get paid from the city of Cincinnati. Now, I'm not knocking the Bengals. Are great. For the Bengals, great. Right. But I used to own a restaurant called Fat Burgers in Cincinnati, where I found out that customers didn't want to come inside and sit down because they say, hey, man, we're paying this damn stadium tax. If you eat inside, you pay a high stadium tax because of the stadium. So the Bengals got a deal. The Bengals got a deal where they got a free sellout. It could be one person in the stands. The city of Cincinnati pays them as if it's a sellout.
Wow.
So all that money comes in the pocket. The stadium, the parking, the vendors, all that stuff is the sweetest deal. And I heard that I read an article years ago. I'm not gonna say what it was on the Bengals. They said the city said, we thought y'all said y'all was bankrupt. We never said that. the NFL from the TV deal, these teams get about between $180 to $250 million a year. They get every year for just being an NFL owner. The stadium money is extra pocket change. They can go pay salaries with and play around with or not. You know what I mean? That's why Jerry Jones one time was spending crazy because he got extra money, but they all get the same pot. And if you remember the league deal before this last 2011 deal, Jerry Jones was mad at the Bengals. It's about 2000. I forgot whatever the last deal before 2011 deal.
Right.
Jerry Jones and the guy with the Redskins, Snyder, they were mad at the Bengals. They was like, we got to share the same pot with them, and we doing more marketing. We market the Cowboys way more. He said, Jerry Jones said, tell Mike Brown to go sell his stadium name and put Synergy on there for $15 million. Like everybody else did, because the Bengals are one of the only few teams that don't have a sponsored name. It's Paul Brown after his dad. You know what I mean? So he said he's not going to do that. So if they're telling you they're going to give you extra $15, $20 million a year to do it, and you say no, what that means you got coming in? You got some money coming in. You know what I mean? So these teams, man, so don't
TV money.
So fans don't understand. Fans think, we pay the salary. A little you do, but until you mess with ESPN, CBS, who else? Fox and NBC, until you mess with that money, there's nothing on it. That's why I think this year the NFL is gonna be okay with playing without the fans in the stands, because
that ain't tripping off that. The TV money gonna be even bigger. The sponsorship gonna be even bigger.
You heard Goodell said in the new letter he just sent out. He told the teams, don't speak about when the season will start. He said, because it only riles our fans up and it confuses our sponsors. No, he said our partners. The partners are everybody who's paying that money to have an NFL logo. That hat you wearing right there. You know what I mean? All that stuff, that stuff added to money. So, but Jeff Blake, back to Jeff Blake. Jeff Blake should be a more integral part of Bengals history, man. And that's one thing. I played so long. I played from 96 to 07. They cut me in the 2008 training camp. I've seen guys like guys I hadn't seen in years. Big Dan Wilkinson. I mean, you guys are 30 years old. You remember Kajana Carter?
Oh yeah,
you know, Garrison Hurst played my rookie year with us. It was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Guys like James Francis. These guys haven't been back to Cincinnati in years, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody remember the early 2000 guys. So so we came back. Peter Ward came back. The older guys. Darnay and Pickens hadn't been. Well, Pick told me the other day he came back to Cincinnati. Pick turned 50 years old. He said he came back about 2 months ago, and he stayed hidden. He said, "Man, I don't want people to be. People might still hate me for things I did and said." I said, "Bro, Corey Dillon thought the same thing. I told Corey, I begged Corey to come back for the 50th anniversary. When Corey left, he and I had a small little beef. You know what I mean? Back in 2003, we had a small little beef, and but we made up talk for man. I love Corey Dillon, man. He loves me, and he was just mad at the situation. I was mad he wanted to leave because he was leaving us. I felt like we had been a big intricate part of his career, and we knew that if Corey Dillon got around a quarterback, he was gonna shine. You know what I mean? We knew that. Y'all knew that. We knew. Everybody in the world knew.
And it tore it up.
I was at the game where he ran for 278. I happened to actually be there.
Crazy. With no passing game. We passed the ball for 9 yards, dog. Like I played with 13. I counted up 14, 15 quarterbacks I played with. Wow. You know what I mean? I got a chance to play with Boomer Stuyvesant. You know what I mean? Boomer came back. Blake got hurt in 97. Boomer comes in and has a great run, and we go 7-2 with Boomer. It was a great run. I mean, because you think back in '96, if we had won one more game, we was 8-8 my rookie year. Mm-hmm. Even after Dave Shula got fired, after my first start in San Fran. They fired him on the way back, and we finished 8-8. Well, the upstart Jacksonville Jaguars in the old Central Division goes to the playoffs with a 9-7 record and end up in the freaking championship game.
Yeah. Right.
With a 9-7 record. So we had won one more game, bro. But we started off 1-6. Then we finished up real strong. We won one more game. We're in the playoffs in '96. The next year we started off with 7-9 with Boomer. We won like 2 more games. Would have been in. So I started off with a good run there. From '98 to about 02 was tough.
Right, definitely tough.
Yeah, I mean, as you're saying that too, I'm just like, with the new NFL, and I guess that kind of segues a little bit to the current Bengals team, whatever. The new format now, 7 teams get into the playoff. Do you think that for a Bengals fan that's super optimistic this upcoming year, do you think that that's far fetched that they think that they possibly can make the playoffs based on the players that you're seeing right now?
So on Twitter, I've been telling about on Twitter, I've been real big with the Bengals fans on Twitter. And I've been telling them, man, don't put that pressure on like that. Because
what's your Twitter name? Hold on, tell everybody before, because Ace, I want you to write this. We need to get Willie. I need to make sure everybody that's in here
man,
follows
please. My Twitter and Instagram are the same name. It's Big Willie 7179.
7179.
Big Willie 7179. I was 71 with the Bengals all my life. I was 71 all my life, high school, college. My last year with the Ravens, I couldn't get 71, so I made 79. It was funny. This guy used to be called Numbers Genealogy. He told me that the 71, 79 numbers are leaders, and so I end up some kind of way picking those numbers. So 7, 11, my birthday. So those are lucky numbers for me. 7, 11, 7, and 9. So check me out.
But you were saying, like, you were telling the people about the Bengals fans or whatever, and I was saying, how far off do you think? I know you don't want to put that pressure on them, but just off the talent that you see, and then you're a good judge. You know who could ball and who can't ball. Do you think that that's far fetched? That because you could go 8-8. The last year, the Steelers that went 8-8, they would have made the playoffs.
Yes, absolutely. So when you say 8-8, so now if you take, I would say a 6-7 game win season, that's with the talent. They should win 6-7 games. Now, my last year in Baltimore showed me a lot, man. It showed me a lot about how runs can happen. And we end up being, I think, 10-6. I think end up going to the championship game. But we won some real close-ass games we weren't supposed to win. You know what I mean? And we lost a couple we weren't supposed to lose. We lost to Pittsburgh 2 times. We dominated Pittsburgh. I was in Baltimore for a 6-3 loss. You know what I mean? It was Flacco's rookie year. We couldn't really score that, but we beat their ass, though. Right. We had about 40 pancake blocks on offense. We just couldn't score. So The Bengals got to learn how to win those close games they shouldn't win. That gives you those extra 2 games at the end of the year that you don't win. But the talent right now, they should win 6 to 7 games out of talent. Then you find a way to win those 2 games. Now, let's be real. They say they're going to be 11-5. That's going to be a hard thing. We don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, we got to first say who's going to protect the quarterback. Guys got to be healthy. We know, are they going to dedicate this season, giving that ball to Mixon, fill them up like freaking the boy down in Dallas, Elliott.
Right.
Give him that damn ball, like overworking. I mean, running backs, I'm sorry, it's a position you get overworked on, then they don't want to pay you at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy been getting half the work, but still been putting up good numbers.
It's a rhythm thing. I remember Corey Dillon always would say that too. He was like, "Man, I need to get into the rhythm of a game. If I get 20-something carries, I don't start hitting my stride to the third, fourth quarter."
So Marvin had a stat for us. Our division games with Marvin. Marvin's like, our rushing goal was to get 120 yards rushing, 120 rushing in division games.
Oh, yeah, and then
I swear, man, it worked. Right. I swear, those numbers are real. Every game in division, we got 120. That usually was Rudy getting about 21, 22 carries a game.
Right.
When Rudy got 15, 17 carries, lost.
Wow.
He get 21, and coaches say, well, Brett Kowski, the offensive coordinator, always said, well, it's just hard to get. They say we're going, well, I just said, well, let's force it, damn it. What happens is, as the league changed about, when we gave Carson that $100 million, that changed the league. Especially for us, the league was changed. About 05, my 10th year in the league. It went from, let's get Corey and Rudy this 100 yards a game rushing to, bro, protect Carson all your life.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So linemen like me had to learn. I was already became a good pass blocker protector. My fourth through 99 through 02, 99 to 01, I gave up no sacks, only 1 pressure. I only gave up 16 sacks my entire career.
Tell them. Hey, you saw the other day you were telling people about it on PFF. You saw how you saw that. You know that became like a thing on the internet for like a day or two. Like the fact that you pointed out, because I saw a lot of pages posting it. So they posted your stats. What year was that?
That was my last year of Baltimore. No. That was 06. That was my 11th year with the Bengals. 06.
Okay, and they didn't post your 99 to 2001, right?
Because Pro Football Focus wasn't out there.
Wasn't around, right?
You know what I mean? So
you only had 1 pressure.
No sacks, no pressure. I faced Jeff Hobson did a story on me about 2 years ago for the Hall of Fame. I faced 9 of the top 13 pass rushers of all time. Out of that 9, Bruce Smith beat my rookie year. I shut down Reggie White, shut down Jason Taylor, shut down Kevin Carter, shut down my man Kevin Green, Reggie White. Bunch of guys, man, that I faced.
Dolman.
Chris Dolman, Julius Peppers, 06, that same year, Julius Peppers, shut him down. And so folks didn't believe it a couple years ago. So I said, you know what? Let me call my boy Travis at the Bengals, the head video guy with the Bengals. And Travis, lo and behold, had all my games on.
Wow.
So he sent me a hard drive of all my games. I said, yo, I'm going to prove this shit to people. I said,
why we can't just take that footage and just send it to the Hall of Fame and like collectively everybody from like 1,000 emails just going.
Man. And that's where I don't understand, because it's like, to me, from the Hall of Fame process, to me it seems somewhat flawed, because you got a lot of media writers and guys that never played football that don't know about the game, and to me it's just kind of backwards.
Is that they wouldn't know to go look at that kind of stuff. Like Jeff Hobson told me, when the guy from the Denver Broncos, little something running back. Well, he
talking about running right now?
No, he's a Hall of Fame running back in the 70s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Had really good numbers. I forget his name. But Jeff Hobson told me that guy took 3 Pro Bowl voters with him and sat down and watched his film.
Wow.
My boy Chuck Smith here in Atlanta, who trains D linemen. Shout out to my boy Chuck Smith. Chuck said Chris Dolman, rest in peace, Chris Dolman, spent about $10,000 on a billboard, like a chart to break down his contemporaries that he faced in his numbers, because they didn't know Chris Dolman was a Hall of Famer. He had to prove to them.
Wow.
But see, linemen don't have numbers. Like,
Right.
See, I feel like the internet pressure though, like the equivalent of a billboard right now is like a whole bunch of people.
Absolutely.
Just like how anything like that people getting outraged with right now, like a whole bunch of people saying that this is unjust, that this guy is not in the Hall of Fame, like starting up like 100 something people just mass emailing like whoever they got to email.
I seen something that somebody
crazy like that.
I seen a diagram that somebody put out. I have it on my phone. I show people. It was showing about how the dominance of Joe Thomas, who's known as a dominant O-liner. I think Joe's had the benefit too of playing in the internet age, so people can go see how dominant he is. I think all the guys that's playing the Twitter. I retired 2009, the first year Twitter gets popping. You know what I mean? So I still have Bengal fans that don't know my Twitter name. You know what I mean? But if I've been playing during the internet age, I think it'd be more people can find film. These guys got film on the field now, mics on linemen. But this diagram was showing the dominance of Joe Thomas. And the dominance, he played 10 years and he gave up, I think, about 32 sacks. And I said, hold on, 32 sacks. I said, really, that's three a year. You know, that's still good as hell. I said, but damn though.
But you know that you didn't.
If I gave up 32 sacks, my coach Paul Alexander he'll be going crazy on me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, I gave up 16 sacks. They saying here, Joe,
I wonder why
dominant. He give up 30 sacks. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So, but that's the difference of, you know.
But you know what's so crazy about Joe Thomas, I think, is this too. It's kind of going hand in hand with what I'm saying is that being a Cleveland Browns fan, you don't really have much to cheer for a lot. Not to just take a subtle shot at them or whatever, right?
That's true.
I feel like a lot of Bengals fans do a lot of time like complaining about referees, whatever they don't like, whatever, right? I think a lot of Browns fans have a lot to do with Joe Thomas's because when they were losing, they would still be like, Joe Thomas still was doing that crazy.
So Hugh Jackson brought me up there. I think a couple years ago, he just brought me up there for a couple of weeks, worked with the offensive lineman. So I got a chance to first of all hang out with Joe. He's a great guy, smart guy. Watched my career. He told me, Willie, he said, man, I used to watch you and Andrew Whitworth, and I just couldn't do the things you guys were doing because you guys were big ass tackles. You know, I played at 340. Whit was 330 at one time. He said, I couldn't do what you guys were doing. I had to find my own kind of game. You know what I mean? Real good dude. But I found out, though, Cleveland treated Joe Thomas as if he was a star quarterback.
Wow.
Did you say he had a Joe Thomas show? They treated him with the love.
And they were running through quarterbacks like they were nothing. They couldn't. They wouldn't even have enough time to promote a quarterback because they were so in and out of it.
Bro, in the city of Cleveland, they don't do it. But if they wanted to, they put a two-man race up and said, "Who's the best Brown? Jim Brown?
Nah, bro.
Joe Thomas?"
Nah.
It'd be a question, bro. I'm telling you,
oh my God.
I found that out, bro.
That's disrespectful.
You got to go to Cleveland to see that. There's a board in their room who has the most Pro Bowls.
That don't mean
but
you can go back into this day and look at Joe Brown footage, and I can tell you how he'll run through everybody.
Listen, man. This internet new age stuff is the same. It's the same way I tell people about this stuff, man. Look, my son is going to his last year at Georgia Tech playing football. Hopefully he graduates here this summer. I said, when he have a son, his son's gonna look at LeBron James' numbers and say, what the hell is that? Who was that? Right. Like, who in the hell was 6'9", averaging 29, 9 at 9?
Yeah.
They're like, who is that? Then you're gonna say, if you don't put the 6 rings up with Jordan and LeBron, them kids 30 years from now gonna look at LeBron and say, what was that right there? Like this, that looks way different than you seeing this documentary out right now.
Dude, they're gonna look at Russell Wilson the same way.
They're gonna say, what is that? A point guard doing what? But they're gonna realize that the centers are now out playing the perimeter, so the little guys can get rebounds. But you look at numbers. So I'm telling you, in Cleveland, if they ever did a poll, it'd be closer than you think. Jim Brown. I'm telling you, man. I was up there. I would say, oh my God. I say, Joe probably get more love than any lineman in the history of football.
Right. Because
in Cincinnati, I was telling the media, I said, look, I just mentioned the media. The media love talking to me. I used to give them a hard time. I said, look, y'all want to cheer for Carson and Ocho and Rudy and all these guys. I said, but in real life, you guys are more like the freaking linemen than you are. You'll never be this 6'5" quarterback who's from California. You're gonna be a lineman who work your ass off and gets very little credit. You get paid good, but sometimes you don't get paid good.
Yeah,
But you're gonna do all of the average person is more like a lineman than a quarterback and receiver. You can't be like Ocho. You can't, but you can come down here and dig your ass off and work your ass off and be anonymous at work. And sometimes like, damn, I did all this damn work, but he got the credit for it. That's why I hate all quarterbacks who never talk about it. I hate your guts. I hate all running backs who score touchdowns and run away from their lineman. I would hate your guts and I would wish pain on you.
Hey, but hey, he's
saying turn your ass around and hug us and give us some love. Get out of here, man.
Hey, he's saying this though, right? And he got us all on his side, right? But there's a guy that's in this chat right now that's probably 5'5" saying, "Well, I'm sorry I wasn't as big as you. You're a giant out here, man. Like if I could be a giant like you, Willie Anderson, I probably could put in some work too, but I'm too small."
But you're not going to be. But listen though, take a high school offensive lineman. High school offensive lineman. And we do this all the time at my academy. I train high school, college, and pro guys. And I have a guy I had 3 All-Americans this year that I started at 14 years old. One of them is a kid named Paris Johnson out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Played at St. X. He transferred to freaking name of the school. I can't forget. But he's a freshman at Ohio State right now. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Number 1 lineman in the country. He's going to be a monster.
I seen him on your page.
So I can't tell you the story of Paris Johnson. His story sounds like my story. Who player of the year, big guy. But most high school linemen are not going to be college football players. Some parents bring me linemen to help say, hey, Willie, I want my son to be safe. I want to be able to compete. So we'll be able to watch him play football on a Thursday or Friday night, and he knows what he's doing. I love those guys just as much as I love the Paris Johnson guys, maybe more because they got to put in more work. You know what I mean? But those guys think because I'm smaller, I can't play line. I'm going to play running back? Like, really? See, I started in the 8th grade because the 6th through 8th grade coaches, they made the offensive lineman look like a shit position. Excuse my language. Like a shit position.
You can say it
again. I'm going to say it again. But so when the kids grow up, the kids like, oh, man, my next door neighbor, his mom is cheering from the stands. Joey scored 2 touchdowns. The 6th through 8th grade lineman, they fed shit. Like all you do is get fuss that, cuss that, and you get the worst coach sometimes in middle school offensive line play. So then by the time the kid get to 9th grade, he like, look, he like I was. I'm not playing O-line. Girls don't know O-line at all. I'm tired of getting cussed out. There's no fame of it. My name never gets called. When I coached 8th grade football, I made our announcers call our lineman names out after every big run. It meant so much. It was the best season that team ever had in 8th grade football because I made the linemen feel important. And when guys, you get these big guys who sometimes I tell parents, look, your 8th grade son who's at 6'1", 230 pounds, who's getting cussed out in the 8th grade, he's going to probably have a faster chance to play in the 10th grade than this little running back. So the big guys get it bad because they get lack of development. So I started my academy because, I can easily make way more money coaching pros. But I get more enjoyment and fulfillment out of helping kids go from this to that. I pray to God all the time, say, God, let me be an instrument for these kids, help them get to where they get, because I love the O-line position. I've been a lineman all my life. It turned me to the big kid who, my freshman, tell you a story real quick. My freshman year, I told you my team that just won the 88, they won the national championship in high school, ESPN first championship. So, so the following year, the ranked teams get national broadcast games. So we play on ESPN my 9th grade year. Robert Brazil being, I told you, he was a Hall of Fame player. He knew all the ESPN guys. They say Doom. Nickname Doom, Dr. Doom. Who you got we can go talk about? Talk about some returning guys. He said, we got a freshman here who's 6'5", 275. He's 14 years old. He was a size 18 shoe, and he's going to be in the NFL one day. They put me on that broadcast, boy. I grew up stuttering around. I'm talking all fast. I'm scared as hell. They showing me. I got my ass handed to me. 3.5, 4 sacks by a guy named Carl Montgomery. Carl Montgomery was 5'10", 25. I don't know where he went to, but I remember his name because he wore my ass out on ESPN as a high school freshman, as the big guy. I was the big guy. So I get mad when people say, you're just bigger than everybody. I said, well, if I'm bigger than everybody, he can get my ass kicked, y'all gonna kill me. Right. You know what I mean? So he destroyed me to the point to where I woke up that night in the middle of the night. Honest to God story. Honest to God, I woke up in the middle of the night in my pass pro stand trying to block him. I was sleepwalking. He beat the living shit out of me, bro. Right. We played him again in the playoffs. I held him every damn play. I'm only the second freshman starter at my high school ever. I should have started that year. I was traumatized. The next playoff game, I held him every damn play. They called about 10 plays on me. 10 fouls. It's crazy. My high school just put up a vault on Facebook of all our games from 78 to about 2005. I watched that game 2 years ago for the first time ever in my driveway, shaking. 2 years ago. I never watched it. I went watch it. He whooped my ass, dog. My 10th grade year, the first 4 games of my 10th grade year, I'm now 6'6", 305, gained 30 pounds, 15 years old. The first 4 games of the season, my 10th grade year, I'm the worst player on the fucking team. Worst player on the team. I'm getting my ass whooped. I'm one of on the 2 returning starters on the O-line. I played as a freshman. I should have been improved, right? Nope.
Yeah.
First 4 games, get my ass handed to me. But we're a powerhouse team, so we still winning. And my team was in the middle of the hood in Pritchard, Alabama. My coach was an old white guy, prolific head coach, Harold Clark. He chewed cigars. He didn't eat. He didn't smoke. He chewed them. He chewed them and crunched them and spit everywhere. It's hard nosed. If you was over 200 pounds, you couldn't get hurt or feel no pain. I'm 305, bro. He stopped practice one day. He said, I can't take this shit no more. He said, your big ass on the ground every damn play. I was getting beat by another guy who's 5'10", Cedric, dude named Cedric Jenkins. I forget his name, but said a go-to. He about 5'11", backup defensive lineman. He never really played that much, but he was trying to show them every day. He was an older guy. I'm beating the biggest dude on the team ass. Why I ain't playing? I'm beating him every damn play. So coach stopped practice. He said, look, you on the ground every damn play. Your big ass wobbling around, every damn running play.
Wobbling around.
He stopped on the ground. That was his word. He stopped practice, stood beside me, and said, he said, okay, your steps are too slow on the ground. He said, take a fast step. He did a fast, this one step real fast. So now you do it. I did the slowest high step you can possibly do. He takes his whistle off his neck and hits me on the ass with the whistle. Bah! He said, faster, damn it. Now everybody's snickering and laughing now, you know. I'm getting ridiculed. Right. It took me 15 minutes to do one fast step. He said, now do a second, even faster step. I did a slow step. He hit my ass with that whistle again. Bah! Yeah. Now everybody's snickering now. It's 30 minutes going past now. I can't do a 1-2 step fast. No. He beat my ass with that whistle.
A lot of people would have walked away right there.
Listen, snickering.
Did you want to walk away?
I felt embarrassed, but I never thought about leaving football. Now my junior year, he tried to get me to quit again. I'll tell you that later. But I'm getting ridiculed, but he's teaching me at the same time. He's saying your second step has to be in the ground faster than his first step. I said, well, oh shit. I was never told that in 2 years of playing with y'all. I've never been told that. He said, line back up. We ran the play again. I took Chris' ass and ran with him. I got my 2 steps in the ground before he can get 1 step in the ground. I'm 305, you 240. I took his ass and ran 30 yards and pancaked him. Everybody going crazy now. Do it again. Yeah. You know, he beats me the second play. Beat me again. Run it again. Third play. I catch his ass again. My 2 feet in the ground. Boom. First 2 steps. I drug his ass 10 yards. He said, practice over with. He said, that's how you block.
Right.
I said, well, shit, y'all had told me this last 2 years, I would have been struggling. The very next week, bro, I won the Mobile County Offensive Lineman of the Week, which is a big deal. You dress up, take a picture of you. You go eat a buffet dinner at the Crichton Optimist Club. You give a speech, and your O-line coach come with you. The second week, I won it again. Back to back, I won it again. Third week, I played a guy who was committed to Alabama. As a sophomore in high school, I drug his ass. I should have won a 3 and a third in a row, but they never gave it to a guy 3 times in a row. I ended up being a first-team All-State my sophomore year, junior year, senior year. I was player of the year in Alabama, All-American, number 1 guy in the country. But I was garbage the first 2 years of high school. Terrible. That's why I'm so big on coaching big guys. I take it real serious because I was that big guy that everybody thought you're supposed to win everything all the time. It's not about your size. It's about your ability, your heart. Like you said, Zim, you said I wanted to quit. No, it wasn't shit you could have ever did to get me to quit football. Nothing.
Right.
Even my junior year when I was the man, he tried to make me quit. We beat the team 20-0. He said, "You know what? Y'all motherfuckers gonna die at practice Monday." Damn. He tried to kill us. He tried to kill us. And he looked at me. He said, "Your big ass gonna quit." I'm like, quit to do what? Work on my mom and dad working at? Shit, not me. Kill me. But he knew we wouldn't quit though. It's kind of team, but he ran us a 2 hours straight. They couldn't do that right now. They'll be in jail right now. You know what I mean? So when guys say that, man, it's about
hitting somebody with a whistle. Hitting somebody with a whistle and so in the video got out.
Oh my God. A white guy in the South.
In the South too, yeah.
We were all have given our life up to Coach Clark though. We in the middle of the hood, black guy, all black team, white head coach, white offensive line coach. My coach Roger Dearman, his son Britt Dearman is now the OC at Kansas with Les Miles. Brent was our little water boy as a kid. You know what I mean? But we'd have gave our life up to Coach. That's why I say the whole black and white thing. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up in the middle of the hood with a white head coach, a white O-line who loved me to death. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. But they were hard as hell on me though.
I feel like sports has that though. Sports has these moments where everything's colorless for a lot. I mean,
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We all know racism's still alive in America, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There's so many instances where we all get together, even right now, you know.
It's sports bring it together. I learned that as a young kid with the Bengals that, because I had, Richie Bram helped my career out tremendously. From my rookie year, I was playing left tackle. Richie Bram was a left guard. When Derek Brills retired, Richie moved to be the center in 97, 98. Richie was so damn good, man. Like I used to go take off for Richie because Richie was a vet, but he didn't have the pull that I had. And I used to go tell in 06, 07, he got hurt. I think 05, 06, one of the years. I want to ask Marvin, said, man, we can't get Richie no more money. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to get Richie something. Richie and held his damn team together. Richie allowed me to be, I tell you what this is. I said, Richie Bram allowed me to go to sleep in meetings. People say, what that mean? I said, look, we leave the meeting on Wednesday. I said, Richie, how you feel with the game plan? If Richie said he's confused a little bit, oh shit. I go to Brakowski and Paul Alexander and say, look, how the hell is Richie Bram confused on the game plan? Because Thursday is our passing day. Thursday days, we got all the blitz coming. They're trying to kill everybody. Wednesday is a run day install, a little bit of pass. Thursday is always your third down. Them the days you guys as fans either booing us or cheering us. Them third down days. Because the league became from a running league to a passing league. We started seeing blitzes at Carson that we never saw with Boomer and Jeff Blake.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as a lineman, your center has to be crazy, crazy smart. He may do the littlest physical work, but the mental work he did, like Carson first year, Richie Bram called out the line points for Carson.
The protections.
Yeah, that was Richie Bram. Carson first year in 04, they took the pressure off Carson and told Richie to do that. You know how much extra pressure that is? The quarterbacks get paid hundreds of $millions now to do that.
Right.
Look, Peyton Manning always had a big time center. If you go back
man,
like the history of Peyton Manning, Jeff Saturday and all them guys like that, like he always had like a Harvard grad center.
That's why I really like the kid, the Bengals guy. What's his name? Hopkins? His name?
Yeah, Trey Hopkins.
Come on, man. Trey came a long way. Trey wasn't even a starter, right? Trey came out of nowhere.
Man, have you ever heard him speak?
I heard good. Jeff Hobson told me how well.
Man, that dude's so smart.
Yeah, man.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Willie, though, if you had a top 5 for Bengals offensive lineman all time, who's in your top 5?
Goodness, don't ask me that, man. God, dog. Because somebody's gonna get mad. Somebody gonna get mad.
Willie.
I mean, obviously you're gonna start with the GOAT with Munoz. But you gotta put Whitworth on the line somewhere. So Whitworth gotta be out of position in the all-time 5. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say Whitworth. By the Pro Bowls, you gotta say Max Montoya. You know what I mean? If you're gonna look at all pros in the Bengals, I'm second with the Bengals with first team All
Yeah,
Pro.
you gotta be on there.
I
You
got
definitely
second about team Pro.
You can put
Yeah.
yourself
No,
at the top of-
I'm gonna say me regardless anyway. Whatever anybody says, I'm gonna say me. But
That's 4.
so just take me out of it right now. And just
Okay.
say 6.
We still that's you on your 3rd right now.
But see, so many people forget. Like I just started learning the last
What about
10,
Levi?
15 years. See, Levi gonna fall in this category with Levi. He's gonna fall in it because Levi was very underrated. This man played hurt. This man, if folks know the injuries that Levi Jones played with, you'll be amazed. You like how he even walking. That's why he's to this day right now. He's messed up physically right now for stuff that he did for the Bengals, playing hurt and got ridiculed for when he played bad. When he got a bad hip, bad knee, just had a crazy back surgery just had recently. Because Levi, Richie, Bobby, you got guys like
Steinbeck, you got a lot.
was really good for a period of time. Steinbeck was really good. So that 5th spot, you know what I mean? And I don't want to forget any older guys, because that's why I hate doing the list.
Right.
You know what I mean? I hate doing the list. Zim, I can't hear you, Zim.
Yeah, we can't hear you though.
No, I was saying the people that you just named though, those are the people that like that I know. Like if you were to go back older than that, then I wouldn't even be able to vouch for it. I'd just be taking your word at that point.
And that's why, I'm praying, man. I was told to quit talking about it one time. I'm praying that, the Bengals start to do more to honor guys because sooner or later, Willie Anderson is going to be, pray to God, hope to God, I'm going to be 90 years old one day. And fans are going to be like, who the hell is that? You know what I mean? And so you're only going to see these guys. Now, what people know what Mike Brown used to be good at, though. Mike Brown used to always bring back the older black guys from the 60s. These guys used to be on Canes. And I just love when he used to bring these guys right to my locker. Willie, this is Pete Johnson. Willie, this is such and such right here. This guy right here, da-da-da. Like, we knew, like, fans don't know that Corey Bacon, who the hell is Corey Bacon? Corey Bacon had about 24 sacks in the season before they were called sacks.
Wow.
Right.
Heard
so
about
those guys
that.
never get looked at. I just got a chance this last year, I think, for the NFL centennial thing. What do you call it thing? Whatever. Fantennial. I met Ken Riley for the first time.
Wow.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Me and Ken Riley, we talked for a long time.
His interception stats
on,
are like off the charts when we start talking about Hall of Fame.
But his thing was he never made any Pro Bowl. So this thing with the Pro Bowl is going to get outdated because now everybody made the Pro Bowl now.
Everybody does.
Because guys pull out and you get Pro Bowlers. Like when I was coming in, I used to be begging. And I hate I did this. I hate I didn't do this. Lincoln Kennedy was a tackle from 01 to 02 or maybe 2000 to 02. Lincoln Kennedy played for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
When the Raiders played Tampa Bay in the 02 Super Bowl, Lincoln was limping down the field. I said, oh, hell yeah. There's nowhere in the hell he's going to Hawaii next week. He can't even play in the damn Super Bowl right now. I said, yes, I'm a first team alternate 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. Guys do not pull out because guys, what? They want to go to Hawaii.
Exactly.
Now, Orlando, nobody don't give a damn about that. Right. But Hawaii, dude taking that trip. You know what I mean? Right. I didn't play in 2 of the games. It still pays me to go over, though. I pull out so my boy DeMarcus McNeil can get in from Auburn. You know what I mean? Right. But, man, Lincoln won't pluck outside. I said, I know damn well he's not going to Hawaii. What? So, I was so pissed off, man. Like, damn. But I should have called him and gave him 20 stacks. I said, yo, pull out, dog, because my Pro Bowl bonus was like 50 grand. You know, I should have gave him 20 stacks to pull out because now
he can still go, right? They still pay for him to go there, right?
That Pro Bowl looks different with 7 Pro Bowls,
right,
instead of 4 and 3 alternates. But I made the 3 first team All Pros and made the second team All Pro 2 times, and so folks don't see that. They're gonna look at guys 9 Pro Bowls, some guys. So Andrew Whitworth's not gonna fall in the same category because they're gonna say he only had 4 Pro Bowls. But dog, it has been 4 or 5 seasons. I should have had 8 or 9 Pro Bowls. But the Bengals were losing then, and no one cared about the tackle who was shutting his guy out while our team was getting blown out unless we had a Pro Football Focus that looked at stats of all guys, and just didn't have that, you know.
Let me ask you this: since we're talking, let's just talk about the tackle position currently right now, because a lot of people are excited for this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tie this in with it too. I know when Whitworth left, to me, it felt like Andy Dalton was never the same. Were you a believer in Andy Dalton throughout the years? And because I kind of brought that name up because you're talking about alternates, and a lot of people will bring, well, Andy Dalton made 3 Pro Bowls. I'm like, yeah, one of them was an alternate or whatever. I wasn't the biggest believer in Dalton all that time. Do you feel like that Dalton, did you believe it? Did they put enough resources behind him in his tenure here? And currently right now, as the roster stands with the tackles that are there with a legit quarterback, do you think that the team could still thrive?
So with Andy Dalton, I caught a little flack the last 2-3 years when things are going bad. I used to always cheer for Andy Dalton because I know how hard it is to be a Bengals quarterback. Right. It's hard, man. It's hard. Like, you know, guys, you know, you go through different things. Like, I seen a young Carson Palmer come in, and I know I'm cutting up the subject a little bit, but Carson Palmer came in, I'll never forget. He, Ocho, and myself was doing his preseason thing for the Inquirer. We were downtown in some museum doing a photo shoot, and Carson was telling me, "Yo, man, we're gonna change things around," because all he knew was winning. All he came from college was winning. Won the Heisman. We won, and he just said, "Hey, man," he was bright eyed and bushy, and I saw, you know, that leaving. I saw in 2007. You know, I'm not trying to be gloomy, but I saw in 2007. My last game of the Bengals played in Miami. That's when the game 2007 season. I was hurt a lot. 2007, I played the last game. Ocho kind of went off at home, and I mean on the road against Miami. And I told Carson, I'm probably gonna be out of here. I said, but you got to talk to these people about making this team fit you. All these guys in the NFL, they get this $100 million guys. Their teams fit their personality. For a while, we knew the Colts, when they wouldn't buy defensive Peyton Manning, they gave him all offensive weapons. They gave him tackles, centers, guards, and Hall of Fame receivers and Hall of Fame running backs. Then he finally brought Freeney and Mathis, got them guys, they go to the Super Bowl. But the team for years was built around Peyton Manning. So I saw Andy Dalton, I always gave Andy credit, man, because, you know, they have some bad luck. They have some bad seasons where they have some bad luck where they go to the playoffs, and you think about from 11 to 15, they probably had one of the most talented rosters there were. But they had the damn Houston Oilers games, the game we found out who J.J. Watt was. They had that crazy ass game against the Chargers, you know, home playoff game. That was crazy.
Oh, you heard me.
The big, you know, they had the Ocho, not Ocho, but I said Ocho because Ocho was reminding me about the Reeves game. But they had the Jets at home.
Jets game.
Oh, God. You know what I mean?
2 weeks in a row, man.
And then the game that broke all our hearts was that the Pittsburgh game wrapped up with a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So if Andy Dalton had just won one of those games,
it changes everything. I think it gets
in Bengals lore, if he had won one of those playoff games, he's done with McNabb.
I think take it a step further. I think if he won one of those games, especially you talking about the second time they went or the third time or whatever, I think they go into a small little run. Like I don't think it would. I don't think it just would have been one game and then he out. Like I think absolutely. Like if you look at the teams, especially like the Steelers team, that's like a lot. Even the 05 team that you were just talking about, like the path that the Steelers had after that was just like that was Carson. But I'm just saying, like it just takes that one victory to kind of get like this little rhythm, and you start kind of.
And I got a chance to do that in Baltimore, bro. We fought our ass off with a rookie quarterback that wasn't a great passer, but he was a deep ball passer, ball game, and we had a dominant running game. Obviously, we had a dominant defense. Ray Lewis is always telling me, he said, "Big Willie, this ain't Cincinnati, dog." He said, "It's defense." He said, "But if y'all can give us," he said one day at lunch when we was eating lunch, he said, "Big Willie, if y'all can score first," he said, "we ain't had an offense around here that can score first at home. If y'all score first at home," he said, "bro, we're going to have that crowd going so crazy, teams can't breathe."
Right.
And I swear to God, every game we scored first, he would have that damn defense humming. It's like shit just started happening here. Ed get picks, tick for touch. We don't score first, it's a hard game. He also said, we go on the road. He said, "Bro, Big Willie, if y'all can just score 20 points, it's 17 or 20. I think he said 17. It was
Mm-hmm.
17. He said, if y'all can score 17 points on the road, we'll win every game. But damn, that wasn't true.
Wow.
Like, so knowing you had a defense like that, I never played with a defense like that. It always was, the pressure was always on us as an offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, our defense, when we were good in Cincinnati, they gave us interceptions back. But in Baltimore, we're a dominant defense that, hey, 17 points? Come on, damn. So we rode that wave. We closed down the old Dallas Cowboys Stadium with the Ravens. No, I'm not talking about the Ravens right now, but it was a big time in my life. You know, I had never won a playoff game, and we go to the championship game that year because we rolled waves. You're right, we rode some waves that a Dallas Cowboy game they should never. They picked us to be their damn their home closing game, and we were so mad about that. Harbaugh used that. He said, Harbaugh said, look, they could have picked any game on the stadium on the schedule to pick to close this game down, the stadium down, the old Dallas Stadium. They picked us, and we ran that damn ball like 300 yards on their ass. We beat the shit out of them, man. And that game propelled us to another game. We started winning. Then we on the road against Miami. Yeah, Reed takes an interception for a touchdown. We run the ball. We win our first playoff game. I'm in heaven. We go on the road now and play Tennessee, number 1 seed. We beat the shit out. We beat them. You know what I mean? Now we in Pittsburgh. Now we beat up. Now we was told that's the year they had the hurricane down in Houston. We didn't have a bye week. So we played all the way through no bye weeks. Wow. So we were just running on fumes. And that Pittsburgh game was by far the most deadliest physical game I've ever been in my life. I thought for sure somebody was going to die. I thought Ryan Clark killed Willis McGahee. Flacco threw a ball. He looked back. That was before the rules came out. I said, I know for a fact he's dead. I said, he has to be dead. I told my mom, don't come to the game, bro. I said, it's too cold.
You gonna make me go back and watch that.
Listen, man. They had a highlight of the game on Twitter about 2 months ago. Okay. And Ryan was talking about it. I said, Ryan, I thought you killed Willis right there. It was so damn cold. They told in Pittsburgh, they said, people over 50 years old, elderly, do not come outside. I begged my mom, don't come to the game. But my mom said, for some reason, I thought this would be your last game. So my boy is a pastor in Cincinnati named Floyd Walker. It's like one of my brothers. Okay. I told Floyd, I said, my mom's going to come from Mobile to Atlanta. He's going to meet her in Atlanta. They're going to fly up there. Him and 2 more of my boys. I said, look, whatever you can do, get my mom to miss her flight. He said, what? I said, dog, don't let her come out here. I said, Pittsburgh's going to be crazy. These folks going to be drunk as hell. It's cold. Yeah,
it's going to be dangerous.
And when it's cold, people drinking. You know what I mean? And I said, dog, y'all can build that by yourself. I said, get her to miss her flight. He said, how? I said, dog, make her miss her flight. He tried everything he could. She didn't miss it. She came to the game. It was cold as hell, man. But that game was so physical, I retired on the bus. Like, no, they asked me to keep coming back in the offseason, but I spit out everything I had. Right. Up to that point. I mean, I was taking pain pills at practice to practice. You know what I mean? And it was a physical, but it was the most fun I had in my life. You know what I mean? But only was 1 year. I can't compare it to Cincinnati because Cincinnati is my life. I mean, but that year in Baltimore, I hold it special, man. You know what I mean? But I just wish the Bengals could get that one feeling, man. Right. Wish they can get it. You know what I mean? And I was glad Whitworth got it. He went to the Super Bowl. Bobby Williams left in 2012, played a backup role with the Ravens, and he got a ring. You know what I mean? So I wish these current Bengals, I'll never cheer against these players. I could be mad sometimes the organization, but I'll never cheer against the players because I was a player, and I never wanted to be that old player hating on the young guys. Because we all did young stuff, young shit when we was younger that we probably shouldn't did, we probably acted a certain way. But I was fortunate enough to stay there for so long. I saw the change. I mean, I saw, I got my ways by Marvin, some things about Marvin, but Marvin came in and showed us a way that we were never being taught. Never. Right. You know what I mean? And he did those things, and you just wish they could have got one of them in. It would have changed the, if we would have won that playoff game in 05. Yeah. I probably don't get cut,
man. That 05,
you know what I mean?
We was talking about that roster the other day. That roster
come on,
people were not hip. That was
Ocho, Chris Henry, TJ, Carson. The O-line we had, Rudy.
City was crazy that year.
Reggie Kelly. We have that. Now take that back. I had fun in Baltimore on the field. I really couldn't learn my way around Baltimore that much. I almost drove to New York one time in my Rolls Royce. I missed my turn, yo. You know, Baltimore go, you in The Wire, the movie, you in the TV series The Wire, and then you in Owen Mills, and where the facility at we all lived at. But one wrong turn, you in The Wire. With Omar hunting your ass down.
Yeah.
I left a game one time. It took me 3 hours to get home. I'm down there in New York, bro. I'm going to the toll road. I'm mad as hell. My boys got my son at home. I'm mad as hell. So,
you done went past damn the strip in New Jersey and all that. You done
and look, think about it. 2008, Rolls Royces nor our phones had GPS. Think about that now. No
GPS. Gonna try to hit a lick.
Listen, what? I'm in the wrong. I don't know. I said, oh my God. Well, man, I'm just dumb lost. No GPS on my phone. The Rolls Royce had no GPS. So, but that 05 season in Cincinnati, oh man, if I had a time machine, the love the city gave us that year, oh my God.
Oh, I was there. Do you feel like the Chemo Von Offen hit, did everybody feel like that was dirty, or was it just the fans that felt like that?
You would have to be on the field and see Chemo's face. And since myself and Richie was the only two guys on the whole team that had played with Chemo before.
Right.
No, man, Chemo was a Bengal first.
He was a Bengal first. A lot of people don't know that.
He's a Bengal first. So I never forget, I was blocking my guy. I looked down. Oh, boom, 50-yard pass to Slim. And then I just looked back because I heard the loudest yell I ever heard in my life. It's hard, bro. It was like I looked back, I saw Carson on the ground like this. He's screaming in agonizing pain. We just all, as linemen, started screaming like, "What the fuck?" We went crazy because we saw Carson, the guy who we it's like the CIA or the Secret Service who dedicate their life to say, I'm gonna give my life up for the president.
Right.
So as a lineman, when you see your quarterback on the ground screaming, and we know that's it. That's it. We can't beat them without Carson. But with Carson, I know for a fact that I talked to all these guys, they couldn't match up with us.
They couldn't at all.
I mean, Chris, Ocho, TJ, he couldn't root it downhill at you. They couldn't stop it.
During the season, y'all did it. Y'all did it.
So when I looked at Chemo's face, he had a sad Chemo look. That was the only reason why I never said anything that it was dirty. He came real low. The guy that was blocking him kind of propelled him back to the quarterback. That's why I tell linemen, never throw your guys. I hate that shit. Like I train linemen now. People say, well, that's a good block. No, he's gonna test my knees up.
Right.
As a lineman, don't throw your guys sideways because you're gonna throw them to your quarterback or you're gonna throw them to your other lineman beside you. That's not blocking. And the guy that did it, he wasn't trying to do it because he just thought he was gonna ride him by, and he kind of launched him. And Chemo used that ability to launch himself into him, but he ended up falling low and it cut Carson down. It's like he cut him like with an axe. He wasn't trying, he was throwing into him, but he didn't slow down. Right. When I saw Chemo, and I've seen guys hit your quarterback and don't give a damn. We look at you like, what, motherfucker? Like, what? Y'all want to fight? Right. Yes. Chemo sitting there like this right here. Like, with that Chemo look on his face, like, I want to hit this guy. I didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
And he kept, if you know Chemo, he kept apologizing. I'm sorry. But we knew.
Damn. We talked to TJ about this too. Like, what was from your point of view or from what you saw, do you have anything that you could tell us about the locker room, like at halftime? Like, because we asked them what what happened, man. But like, from your perspective, like, is it a situation where you kind of blacked out, or were you aware of all this craziness going on?
In the locker room, when the locker room halftime, you get water and Gatorade, and you get your water and Gatorade, you get your halftime adjustments, and then you go back outside. Whatever happened. You know what I mean? But just know, I'm gonna say one thing. I've been walking out the locker room with Brian Simmons, and B. Sims said, "Big Willie," he said, "We didn't do not one fucking adjustment." I said, "What?" He said, "We ain't go over nothing." I'll never forget. We walked out the tunnel together. Now, me, that story gonna be with me and to the people who want to talk about it. Because we do a good job of protecting certain people, and we do that, and that's whatever. But I remember B. Simmons saying, we walked the locker room, we got outside, my helmet was up, his helmet, because halftimes are fast in high school, in pro football. Gotcha. You sit down and go to the bathroom, the coaches all run to the back, like they huddling some secret up, huddling. What y'all run way back there to go? What y'all talking about? The coaches go run to the back real quick, wherever they go, talk some game plan. I have no clue how they will ever come up with anything in 4 minutes of talking they're doing. They come up to us now and make adjustments. Usually, I bring me a big bowl of fruit with me from the hotel, because I start finding out, yo, man, I get hungry as hell by 1:30. I'm starving. Right. And guys were laughing at me until they start asking for my fruit. So hell no, y'all were laughing first now. But I got a fork, my dirty ass glove, a fork, my stuff wrapped up, eating pineapple, game plan, fruit, oranges. People, can I have some of that? Man, damn. I'm pouring stuff out the guys. You know what I mean? So that game though, B. Simmons comes out of the locker room, my helmet up. He said, Big Willie, we ain't go over a fucking thing. I said, what? He said, they ain't talking about nothing. He said, we don't know nothing. So the second half was no adjustments. Wow. The defense didn't even talk about nothing. Offensively, I don't know what TJ told y'all, but we didn't. It was crazy time. It was a crazy time. I'm not going to talk about it, but just know we didn't go over anything.
You didn't have enough time for it to go to
anything. Everybody up now. It was time to go up, man. Shit, it was up, but we peek in the damn training room. You see Carson with his knee up in the air, shit deflating, man. Like it was just, Then we come out and we throw the ball with John Kitna. That's my boy, my favorite teammate of all time is John Kitna.
Wow, that's a good Jim.
The most selfless guy you've ever seen was John Kitna. I mean, I told Marvin when Marvin about to draft Carson, you come in dumb old player like me, man. Why y'all bringing a quarterback in? Kitna can do the job, man. What's wrong with y'all? Little we know. When Carson got there, Kitna started. The next year, they're going to say Carson going to start. I go in and ask Marvin again, why we going to let John Kitna go? And Kitna told me, Big Willie, let that kid play. He said, I can't do nowhere near half the things he can do. He's going to be special for y'all, bro. He said, take care of him. And it was Kitna who helped develop Carson. Because Carson used to be a quiet guy, and Kitna used to go in there and fight for him. Look, man, Carson hates these plays. Give him these plays. Because Carson confided in John Kitna. That's why I thought it would have been a hell of an idea. I know folks couldn't take it, Andy was too high profile. But when Andy Dalton said he would come back up, I said, oh, do that. And I said, he said he understands the business, so he understands that the Bengals are going to pay him $17 million and back up. But if he's willing for 1 year to be the eyes and ears of this boy, I'm telling you, man, having a veteran quarterback like that.
I was totally against it. I think that Dalton was so slighted by the organization. I felt like, well, that's my personal opinion. I don't think that he would have did that. See, some of the reports that we would get from the outside end, like looking in or whatever, is that he didn't like the way that they handled some of the stuff, especially since, like when the week that they benched him, he was like, yeah, like he did the interview and said, hey, like they should have gave me an opportunity to talk to teams before we get traded. I mean, so I could get traded before this deadline.
That's true though. It's true. They should have done that. I thought they should. I mean, look.
I felt like they held on too long in this all season.
They did, but then I think they ran out of. I think they really didn't know.
They ran out of time.
Eli Manning got benched, man, messed his all-time record up. He's still there partying with that boy and cool with that guy. That boy.
Yeah. I saw that.
It's certain kind of guys, a different kind of guy. Andy, I thought would be a different kind of guy.
So you think that if Dalton would have been able to restructure and go for a lower dollar amount or whatever, you thought that would have been a good relationship that he could help?
What?
Only because he got that knowledge and stuff that he could have passed off to Joe, right?
And I said this right here too. It all depends on this now. We know Aaron Rodgers won't do that.
Right.
We know Tom Brady won't do that.
Right.
Brett Favre never did that. Mm-hmm. It takes a certain kind of good guy. I think Andy's good. Andy reminds me of a more talented John Kitna. He would have did that.
Bro, they killed me when I said that. I called him John Kitna and they killed me.
He's a more talented. He's a more talented John Kitna. Like the dude's a good dude, man. John Kitten's the best dude ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't play with Andy, but I've talked to Andy. No folks in the team dealt with Andy. Andy, that kind of guy, man. He would have did that. But see, to us, it doesn't make sense. Like, why you do that? Like, why don't go start somewhere? But them guys be made different, man. And down the road, good stuff happened to him.
I think that he's thinking though that this is his in between spot in this weird period that we're in with the COVID-19, and then he already had a house there. But I think that Andy Dalton can have another second tier of his career past what we're seeing right now. But it's all about the opportunity too. Say something crazy like that goes down or something like that. People will see Dalton flourish in Dallas. I always said if he went to the right organization, he'll be fine. But I think he's trying to create like a Kurt Warner type situation where he gets this second opportunity somewhere that maybe wasn't thinking he was going to be the starter. And then he comes in there and they got enough pieces around him like how they have in Dallas. Yeah, he could absolutely win.
Yes, I mean, because we see right now, it don't take you 3 games as a quarterback. You can go get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go 3 games and hold down a stretch, man. Or it could be a situation where he can go to Dallas and play in preseason and look really well in preseason. That's when I say, oh, hey, we need a quarterback.
But see, that's why the Bengals, that's why I kept on saying I thought that as long as it went, I was thinking like, well,
me too.
Well, maybe the Bengals are just waiting for somebody to go down, you know, and or waiting for medicals to come out, all these different things.
So I thought too. But
why else would you wait that long, you know?
And then after he came out about a week before the draft and said he's cool with backing up. He said that. He said, I'm cool backing up.
He did.
And I understand the business of it. So that means he understood that he couldn't be there for $17 million.
Right.
So
exactly.
Something must have went down. Like, you know, I haven't asked around because my sources kind of spread out right now because no one's in the building. I usually get all my inside information when everybody's in the building. I found out everything then because I got my people in the building, but they've been COVID-19. They've been away from each other. So I don't have as much as inside information that I usually have. But something must have went down to where they didn't want to, because he said that. I said, oh, for sure. It's the perfect thing for Joe coming in.
Now, you know, all right, now for Bengals.com, they wrote this story one time. Jeff Hobson, I don't have the exact quote, but he said that their intentions were that they never wanted Dalton to even cross paths with Burrow like that. This was before the draft and everything. That he wrote that, and when I saw that from Bengals.com, I said, okay, so they absolutely are leaning towards Joe Burrow and just giving him the keys to the Ferrari. This is my only thing to play devil's advocate with him being a mentor is that there is a large amount of the fan base that still believe in Andy Dalton. And if you're bringing in this guy that we're saying is the future of the organization, the minute that he has a bad game, these people out the woodworks on Twitter and everything like that are going to be giving hell for a guy because just all the reasons that you said that you love, like Andy Dalton's a good guy. There are so many people that watch him that just say he's such a good guy. Give him a chance. I like Andy Dalton and put him in the same way they did AJ McCarron. And I just didn't feel like Joe Burrow needed that behind him.
I understand that too, because the people I've seen on Twitter, they be killing Andy Dalton. Like I'm like, damn. Like
I'll show you some Dalton lovers. You want to
really?
See? If I had a couple in here tonight,
I've seen they were killing this man. I said, damn. Like,
oh yeah.
I even said one time. Look, I seen one time about 3 weeks ago. They showed a touchdown. He threw a touchdown. They put it up on Twitter. Another underthrown ball by Andy Dalton. Man, I said, hold on. First of all, motherfuckers that don't know football, that was an underthrown ball on purpose.
Right.
I said, well, now, Willie, you don't get it. You don't get it, Willie, because you don't get it. He underthrew balls all the time. I said, I understand that. I said, but right now, he threw a touchdown where the ball's underthrown. I said, it was a back shoulder throw, bro. Like, stop it. So,
I don't like the unnecessary hate. I did have this challenge one time, and it took me a long time to find this. But look, I told people, I said, find me some clips with AJ Green catching all these big time touchdown passes. Show me the ones where he's catching in his stride. And people could not find it, bro. Like, they're all miracle catches, like contested catches. Go look. We had it a couple years ago. The AJ Green challenge.
Go ahead, Willie.
I've never, you know, it's not a race thing. It's what it is. I've never talked to many black Bengals fans online. Seems like, you know. So you two guys that know Bengal stuff.
Yes,
it kind of amazes me because it's usually, you know, the white crowd, the white fan base.
Yeah.
I see more black guys in the city. Where you guys located at?
So right now I live in Orlando, but I grew up in Cincinnati. So I'm from Cincinnati and all of that. But I live in Orlando now.
So
and I'm in DC, but I got family that's in Cincinnati a little bit.
Gotcha. So
on the outskirts a little bit.
So back in the city, when I'm in the city and go to all the spots and go eat in the hood and even not in the
Alabama's.
hood. I go, you better know it, bro. I used to drive the Rolls Royce to Alabama's, park it outside and pay all the kids outside. I just give them money and tickets to wash my car. You know what I mean? So I stayed in all the hood places up there. Man, you go where? So that's what we do. We in Avondale doing our.
Oh, you was in A1.
We was all the places. Yo, I plugged into all soul food joints, all the spots where I ain't gonna say what cats were doing, but they were doing some stuff that, you know, whatever. I can't get food. But I found out later on it was the hot spot. You know what I mean? Right. But I used to go there and give them all like tickets, bingo tickets, because they weren't going to games. You know, people they weren't going to the games. I used to go to back in we was on a call the other day, text group text the other day, and guys brought up the what's the club that was downtown back in the 90s?
You talking about the Ritz or
not the Ritz? The Ritz was a dangerous spot too. Hey, we been in the Ritz. Like a dude told me one day at the Ritz, yo, big dog, why your motherfucking Rolls Royce so dirty? I said, what? He said, dog, clean that shit up. he said, yo, the Ritz was wild, boy.
The Ritz was wild. When you went into the Ritz, like they had like a camera. They had a camera. You had to stand in front of the camera so they could see everybody that came into the Ritz.
Life or death, and what's the spot down?
That's where T.I.'s man got shot at. They got into it at the Ritz.
Cats called me that year, and they happened to say, yo, guess where he was at? I said, what? He said, the Ritz. They followed him off the highway. Right. I used to live in Madeira, right by the mall. They followed him off the highway. They had to shoot out with him.
Shoot out on the highway. Yeah, I remember that.
71.
Yeah.
So it was the off season. I was back home then. So, but cats called me and said, yo, they got the boy T.I. boy up here, man. I said, oh my goodness, you can't go disrespect Cincinnati cats like that.
You can't go out there.
They were throwing money in the crowd, them boys. I said, don't think that is soft.
People sleep on Cincinnati. Exactly. Cincinnati is not soft at all.
The natty can be the wire real quick.
Yeah, nah. You'll see. It's another guy though that's on YouTube too. Like just speaking of like black fans, I guess that are Bengals fans. But it's another guy that Ace put me onto. His name is Flimlo. We need to connect you with him too. But I'm talking about YouTube wise. This dude be having 200, 300,000 views like a video.
Millions. He got millions.
And I'm talking about here a black guy, you know, with a Bengals hat on, everything like that. But I mean, he talks about all sports. He'd be great to talk to you about, but I mean, he talks about everything.
He probably in here watching this right now.
He might be. I'm gonna say, but that's my dog, man. He's a cool cat, but he's a big time Bengals fan.
I have so many Bengals stories, dog. That's why I say I want to get my YouTube popping and start telling Bengals stories. And when I said that, you know, people on Twitter all went crazy. Like, yeah, let's start doing that, Willie, because I got 1,000 stories, man. I thought about years ago, Jim Hobson, I thought about writing a book, but I was like, damn, Hobson, write the book. Can you write all the stuff in the book? Because you're an employee still. You can't write everything. So I'm always afraid if I say too much, Mike Brown may start the damn the Ring of Honor the next day. I said, Willie, your ass ain't getting it. You said all that.
Yeah, you gotta. We gotta chill until we get you in the hall.
One thing I gotta ask you, Will.
Can we ask him some questions so that we can kind of we gotta close it out soon. But I know you got a question. But I wanted to get some of these fans' questions in here too.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Willie, was a lot of people when Carson left, they wondered like what the role was with Marvin Lewis, because it was like reported that Marvin Lewis went out and flew out to like see him and visit him. And then when he came back, it was like Carson's not coming back. Was there just a rift between Carson and Mike Brown, or did that exist with Marvin as well?
See, when I ask this question, somebody gonna call my phone. So why you say that for? Carson, and everything was great in the beginning. Like when you winning and stuff going great. Carson had some issues later on with Marvin. And I think he had some issues with Mike Brown that he thought Marvin should have been able to handle them.
Right.
Now, with Marvin, like I say, I give Marvin all the credit for turning so many things around, for turning around the national perception of us. You know what I mean? You know, I started going to Pro Bowls as an old man because we started winning, and Marvin brought the winning juice, the perception over to the Bengals that people started, oh, that guy's playing pretty good. I mean, I was playing better back then.
Right.
But because Marvin brought a winning perception, people started Pro Bowls and all pros. It was old. But I think, but there were some things that, you know, Marvin would fight the battles. He would tell you, he would fight the battles he knew he would win. And the older Carson got, the more he started getting out, seeing other quarterbacks, you start to really see, like, hold on, man, this thing being built for me. And Carson wanted some things that he was told no to, and he felt like he should have been able to have them as far as players. You know, surprisingly getting rid of guys, coming getting guys in, signing this kind of guy, and those things weren't done. And I think once you start to see what your contemporaries around the league are getting, especially as a quarterback, it gets to you. You know what I mean? So don't think that Aaron Rodgers didn't have a phone call with some of his boys and like, yo, man, that's bullshit, man. They got a quarterback behind you and not a receiver. These quarterbacks got a tight knit of guys, man. So they, you know, as you get older, you start having them more like, man, damn, man, like, why am I not getting that right there? Right. And sometimes owners and coaches may see it different than players. They don't listen to, you know, hell, Belichick don't listen to Tom Brady.
Right.
We found out he was trying to get rid of Tom Brady for the last 4 years. Right. Trying to get rid of, you know what I mean? So that's what Carson was. So it was a little bit of both. I think he wanted Marvin to go do more things. At the same time, Marvin was saying he may have been trying and he couldn't do them. So they were all closed those meetings. So only those three kind of knew what they was talking about. But it was a rift between those three guys at the end, I don't know what Mike Brown said no to or yes to. I just know, those two guys wanted some things, and Carson thought Marvin should have been to fight harder for him, and Marvin saying this, whatever, you know what I mean? So that was that whole thing right there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. At the end result, I guess it put a bad taste in Carson's mouth because just to go through some of the questions, and I think Ace might still have a couple questions too. But Jake, let's go. I think this is from Locked On. He's in here. He says it's good to see you on another podcast, Willie. Mm-hmm. He also commented on the kid you were talking about. He was saying Parrish played at Princeton. That's the high school.
Princeton. That's right.
Princeton. Yeah.
I should know that too because my man's the head coach. And I've been to the games, and the head coach, my man's he's a real good guy, real good coach. I'm real cool with Parrish' mother, and but Parrish was at St. X though. He played his last year at Princeton. That's right.
A kid in here, Brandon Bagley, on his Madden said he drafted Parrish Johnson. And he said he's about to make him a superstar. So if you talk to Parrish, tell him it's a guy right now playing with him on Madden that's going to make him the next Hall of Famer. Roach, I highlighted a couple of these. Roach says Burrow is showing some focus. So I guess with that, I just want to say, like, do you have any thoughts on Joe Burrow in Cincinnati? You think he's going to get us over that hump? Playoff win hump.
Playoff win hump, because that's the key. See, and with it being the playoffs, we can put so much pressure on Cincinnati teams because we still have that lump in our stomach. After the season over with, we're going to be 11-5. Right. And we still got a butterflies in our stomach like, damn, man, this ain't enough. We just did this before. But think about the years from 98 to 02 where that wasn't even talked about.
It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't even close. So,
8-8 was like a Super Bowl when John Kennedy did that. I remember.
It was like, we were celebrating so hard. Like, I mean, we played 04. We played Philly, and Philly took half together out of the field. We were trying to get to 800, 500 2 years in a row, and I'm hurt. I need a knee surgery off season, but I'm playing hurt because I want to really get the rushing record. But I told Chad last week that Hugh Jackson on the sideline saying, Willie, don't forget about fucking TJ either. We got TJ because we're gonna have 2,000-yard receivers too. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, receiver. I'm taking really rushing record. But we ended up giving TJ 1,000 yards, so that was a big thing too. But it was 8-8, and we were celebrating, bro. And the Eagles like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Like we played in the playoffs next week. I said, bro, y'all don't understand, bro. I told Donovan, like, I said, for 8-8, 2 years in a row, I said, dog, this something big right here. Yeah. And I kept saying the whole time, we got to get past that.
Right.
We got to get past that. So we know right now, the butterflies coming out. I'd rather do what the Giants did that first year, Eli. Go 9-7, sneak in the playoffs, and go on a run in the playoffs.
Man, I'm telling you,
know what I mean?
You go on a run.
But see, the problem,
like what the Titans did this past year, or whatever. Like that, I mean, you could knock off like the best seed. You could knock off the best team any given Sunday. Is not a quote just came out of somebody's ass.
The problem be
very real.
The December months, and I always question this, and I know I'm getting in trouble for saying this. December play starts to go down, and I always wonder: does it go down? I'm not bashing the Bengals, just asking a question. Does it go down? I mean, one year I started tracking Chad's stats in December, and they were going down. And I say, man, I was retired then. I said, damn, we be cold. We're cold as hell out that bitch in December trying to practice. Like practice be so ridiculous, dumb sometimes in December, and we can't go in the grass field because the grass field turned to slop. We got to practice on that hard ass stadium turf, cold. And you barely can move. It's so damn cold out there. And I always wondered.
Never thought about that.
I always wondered, was the lack of great practices. Now in Baltimore, right next door is a big ass indoor facility.
Gotta have that, man.
And
they gotta get that.
I always wondered that. I would tell, if I would have one thing to tell Mike Brown, said, Mike, that indoor facility will help out December football so much.
So much.
Dog, we used to be so damn cold. They have hot cocoa for us waiting on. And you see guys dabbling in hot cocoa. You know what I mean?
Just
like
trying to get
I can't. I'm 30 years old, 300 plus pounds. I couldn't even stand on that turf in December.
Right.
And back hurt, knees hurt. At the end, I couldn't even practice. That's why Marvin gets so mad at me. Right. I couldn't practice. I come out. I'm gonna do rehab beginning practice. Come out at the end, but I can still play though. But every guy can't do that. You know what I mean? But so I just wonder if December we can find a way to take care of their bodies in December and go on a run. December, January, and we'll get that win.
Because that cold weather, it's a breeding ground for injuries. So, like, you not having an indoor facility, guys can pull hamstrings and all kind of stuff like that just from it being cold.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday or Thursday in Cincinnati, in December, it's great. All them birds are flying like they're fucking going crazy. The birds are leaving this. When the birds are leaving the city, you know it's about to be cold as hell.
Super cold.
You're gonna look up and see 1,000, a million birds is flying. So where are these birds going?
I'm gonna tell you. Look, I think what you brought up is something I probably never even thought about. Just to kind of expand on what you were saying, like that is an advantage for a lot of other teams.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that I always complain about, and I think Jeff was saying this. Jeff Blake was saying this on our show a couple of days ago, is that the big time guys like AJ Green, if you look at their numbers at the end of the year and stuff, he needs to have 100 catches. And one of the arguments that I have with a lot of our teams, especially when it comes down to primetime games, and especially when it gets to December, is a lot of teams game plan and they'll take out our best players or they'll shade coverage.
And it'd be a wrap.
And it'd be a wrap, right? And then we play
some
of those other teams with these superstars, and they still go to them.
Man.
The Mixons of the world still get the ball handed to them.
Listen, bro. I asked Brad Burkowski one year. I see Blake and them guys never got to see the good part of it. That's why I want all them guys to kind of come back. They never got to see the good part of Cincinnati. Like their memories are, damn. But if they watch the game right now, he's totally right because Jeff Blake's one of the best quarterback minds in football. Right. But I asked Burkowski in 2005 or 6, offensive coordinator. I said, Brad, why are we still the last team that got to run the ball to get Chad and these guys open? Like, Tom Brady have a damn running game. Y'all team don't have a running game. Why y'all can't design plays to get these guys open? Right. We got all these guys like, and Chad said that Chad said, man, I never had 100 catch year. Like, damn. Drew Brees throw to the same damn guy 15 times a game.
Man, let him make a play. And especially when these games happen. Earlier in this podcast, you were saying like, "Hey, there's going to be some games. The Bengals are probably good for like 6 games, 6-7 games, whatever." And then you got to sneak in. Give or take 3 games, close games, right? Last year, Ace always shows me the stat about how we had 8 games that were within 1 score this past year.
Wow!
Right.
And
Last year was like that.
this last year, and I
gotta
always
find a way
been
to
like,
win games.
you gotta go to the big dogs in the big moments, man. I just
So,
when we play the Steelers and we play all these teams like that, they go to their stars
listen,
at big moments and they make sure Antonio Brown, when they had Antonio Brown, they make sure he eats.
listen. So 06, I think. 06. When did Randy Moss come to the Patriots? 07.
07, yeah.
Oh, I missed that game. I missed that game. I was on the sideline. So, was it Chinadu
And Dukwe?
and Dukwe? One of them guys. One of the guys. One of the two African guys we had on our team. We had Chinadu and we had
Medea Williams.
Medea Williams. One of them said something to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady said, "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" He said, "Y'all just scared of Randy." He said, "I'm gonna throw that bitch to Randy every damn time."
True.
And he force-fed Randy the ball.
The whole time.
we know, everybody know in 07, he's throwing Randy Moss. Come on, man.
That's when he broke
the record.
Broke the record for Rice.
He said, "Y'all just scared of Randy." He said, "You know what? I'm gonna make y'all scared of him too. 'Cause I'm going to him every damn time."
So it's crazy you said that because you talked about earlier that Texans game. If you remember the first half, they didn't even target AJ. They didn't throw AJ a pass. And like a lot of people forget about it. But after that game, he was so frustrated. He didn't even talk to the media. Like he went off. He like left.
What Bengal receivers, it's crazy saying this, but with Bengal receivers, the stars from Carl Pickens to Ocho to AJ Green. I'm probably, I don't know about back in the days, but they always get caught with playing the safe football. And to win them kind of games, I don't think any fans would get mad at the end of the game. Hey man, AJ covered, we don't give a damn.
We don't care.
Throw it to him anyway.
Right.
Randy Moss is telling Tom Brady, he put his hand up in the air. He covered. But he said with Tom Brady
anyway.
That's telling Tom Brady, said, whatever you do, I'm going to make sure it's not an interception. Just throw it to me. Right. And with the great guys, you got to have the coach to have the nuts to say, give it him the damn ball. Find a way to give him the ball in the crucial moments. And if it's an interception, fans are like, well, at least we was going for AJ. Right. At least we was going to our top dog.
I'm gonna live and die with my superstars, man. I
live in Atlanta, bro. The Falcons do it with Julio.
Yeah,
all the time.
You know what I mean?
AB, they was always getting all the targets.
To me, that was the only thing that ever separated any of them Steelers teams. Like when the game would get close or something, is that everybody, the defenders for the Bengals, was scared to death of 84, and 84, no matter what, was going to get the ball, and that was something that that was a big part of their offense, and it worked.
That's kind of the national perception of AJ Green too, because people hadn't really seen him. Like AJ, we all know AJ should be an all-pro right now. He's not made an all-pro team. It's ridiculous. Like, but I think the national perception, when you start taking top 5 receivers, they leave AJ name out. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Right, exactly.
Because they haven't seen him double covered enough. The ball still being forced into him and making a play. And the guys like AJ Green, they want that. They want to be seen as those guys. Throw that damn ball to them. I'm about to show everybody I can catch whatever. Nobody can cover me.
Right. Facts.
And the sad part about it is now I don't think there's no chance. There's no scenario where that happens again. Only because the Bengals wide receiver core is so loaded now. You don't have to do that. But in some of them other teams, there's no way. It's about 2 or 3 seasons that he should have had 100 receptions. But now. You got T. Higgins, John Ross, Tyler Boyd, or whatever. Like, he's not going to get 100 receptions now. But
you got to find a way now.
Those guys
who are really good guys. Like AJ is a really good dude. Julio, really good dude. Them guys, Julio telling everybody, as long as we winning, I'm good. But you still, for the sake of these guys' legacies, you got to find a way to get them touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
He was putting up Moss. He was putting up them 1,000 consecutive, and that really killed me when the Bengals didn't let him play in that game to break Moss's like consecutive 1,000-yard seasons record.
Oh yeah.
They sat him down. He was like the only receiver that had touched that. So anytime,
and he had like 980 yards or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All he needed was like one more catch, and they sent him home. I think. He was pissed. It was like the Texans game or something like that.
Yeah, 2018, 2000 was that 2017 or 18? But anyway, he was pissed that like that. AJ Green in the locker room that time was
a guy who was never said to ever like. We got to do a better job making sure your stars don't get what we always say get Bengalized and
right.
You're like, oh man, same stuff happened to me now.
Yeah,
same happened to me now that happened to this guy, and oh man, so now this guy's pissed off. But go ahead, ask a question, man. I'm good on time, so go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple of different people that I wanted. They just had some questions. Chris W said he loves all your stories, Willie. What was the year that was? Somebody get low who they said what was the year that got away from the Bengals in Willie era? What I don't understand that.
What
question.
year it got away from us?
Yeah,
yeah. So
what year? In your era, what year did it get away?
Like I said, I've said at the beginning of the show, 96. We go 8-8, bro. I starting week 7. I starting left tackle. We go on a huge run. We lost. We won one more game. Early on, we're in the playoffs. Right. So now the next year we come along, we start playing. We start losing. Blake gets hurt. Boomer comes in. The last 9 games we win 7. We go 7-2. We beat the Cowboys. We beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Who's in a row, man? Boomer gave us all of like $1,500 after the Dallas game. It was crazy. Like I come in the locker room. Hey man, Boomer want to see you for what? Got something for you because he had won the Player of the Week that week. I learned how quarterbacks should take care of their guys from Boomer. Blake take care of us. Boomer took care of us like crazy. Then Carson did it. But that 97 season, I'm like, man, those first 2 seasons is better than what I heard my senior year in high school. What Scarface said. I'd have been to more funerals in the last year than the motherfucking Bengals lost last year. Scarface rapper said that 93. So now 30 years later, 97, I'm on the Bengals team. I'm like, okay, we go 8-8. 7-9, we could have won 2 more games. We pretty damn good.
Right.
They don't re-sign Boomer back. 98. They was kind of turning on Blake at the end. So they brought Neil O'Donnell in. Just come in and said Neil came in and stole $9 million. He stole it. He wasn't giving a rat's ass.
Wow.
I mean, he can get mad at me if we want to, but I got some stories about that. I remember the day he told Corey Dillon they put him on. I don't say all that. Look, you see somebody get put on IR and they be happy they gone.
Right.
Yeah. Some motherfucker like what?
Right.
But people never see that. So that 98 season, that's 3-13. That's a wrap. 99, we dropped the Achilles, right? 99, that's 4-12. Now, mind you, I told you from 99 to 01, I'm playing my best football.
Right.
The light came on. I faced Reggie White my 3rd year, 98. I shut him down. I had a film. I put my film on Twitter and Instagram. Me playing against Reggie. Reggie was the strongest guy in the history of the world. I never played against a guy stronger than I was. He was stronger than I was. I was bigger than him, but he was way more strong and powerful than I was. And I shut him down in 98. He beat me up physically, but I shut him down. That's rest in peace, greatest guy ever. But 99 was 4-12. So now that's 2 years removed from 97. We could have had Boomer come back. We'd have been rolling. We ended the season with a 7-2 run.
Yeah.
Beat Pittsburgh. This is out. Pickens got hurt in 98. Boomer makes Donnie Scott a #1 receiver, and Donnie gets paid.
Wow. So
we're like, oh man, Boomer come back. Bring Boomer back. Bring Neil O'Donnell back. Boomer goes to Monday Night Football. 98, 3-13. 99, 4-12. 2000, 5-11. 2001, Kittner comes in 6-10. That's better than 4-12, but shit, still 6-10.
Right.
2002, Gus Surratt, and that whatever that was. God. That's 2-14.
That was the worst interception I've ever seen before.
You know what I mean? That gave us Carson and Marvin Lewis, though. You know what I mean? So
right
between that era right there, from that Boomer, the thing with Boomer not being back, I think when you're in a season of a 7-2 run, think about it. They said Boomer was too old at 37 years old.
That's crazy.
Tom Brady, but it was a different league then,
Yeah.
Right.
Now you can all the QBs right now are going to play to 40 years old right now. It's a given. If you're a QB, you're going to take care of your body. The rules are going to say you can't get pummeled. Them guys are getting pummeled back then.
Yeah.
I thought Jeff Blake. We ran an option play one time against who was that? We ran an option play. They just showed it on Twitter as a replay game on Twitter. They showed it. We ran an option because Bengals UK do this. They do this YouTube thing.
Watch party. Yep.
They did a watch party at one of these games. What game was that? I just saw that. That's the highlight. I said, we ran that dumbass option play on the goal line. And Jeff pitched to John Carter. He ran in. What game was it? Was the DN just blinded Jeff Blake with his helmet, top his helmet right in his face. Blake on the ground said, "Yep, I know he's dead right now too. He gotta be dead. He gotta be dead, man. Like QBs were getting they were getting their nuts knocked off back then, dog. Right. You understand, bro? Like if you was a lineman, you had to be prepared to get throughout the game because you're gonna be called a punk ass line if your quarterback got pummeled.
Right.
And Warren Sapp is sitting on top of him with his nuts on top of the quarterback head, pushing his head down, getting up.
Man, what you think about like I know we wrapping this up soon, and I know Ace got a question. What do you think about when you see somebody like Cedric Ogbuehi not helping his quarterback off the ground?
That tells me a lot of I'm gonna take Cedric out of the thing. Talk about somebody else. That's
the one that killed me though.
I tell my homeboys all the time. I said, look, I can tell when the lineman don't like a quarterback, or when the lineman's kind of maybe a little nervous and scared. I said when they're not running to pick their quarterback up. I seen the quarterbacks. I just say all the time about Cam Lyman. I said Cam Lyman don't like him.
Right.
Don't like. I can tell when Carson tore his knee up, tears coming down. I'm going fucking crazy. Like it's even hard right now sometimes for me to talk about it right now because I see what the emotions of that seeing Carson on the ground like that. It was like damn. Right. Because you thought he was serious hurt, but then when you say. What he's screaming for? Like, what make a grown man who I known take tough ass licks? What make him scream that loud? It got to be something pain wise. Right. You know what I mean? So when I see QBs on the ground, it tells me a story. It tells me a story of the locker room. It tells me is that quarterback. Sometimes I think guys kind of just be some kind of in a big of a shock because what you don't realize when the lineman gives a sack up, that's a. I tell my friends sometimes, look, I say the sound that linemen don't want to hear. Hear the sound. You're on the road. You're in 3-point stands. All you hearing is
right.
You're trying to hear set hut. Listen. So now if it's too loud, you're watching the ball. Now you kick back in your stance. You're blocking the guy. You're blocking him. You know it's bad when you hear this right here at the line. When you hear. What the fuck that happened? Is the ball downfield or if he didn't get killed behind me? Right. On the road, if you hear something bad to happen, you look back, sack, ball out the way. So sometimes guys be so shell shocked sometimes they forget. And when a guy's playing really bad, you get shell shocked and you don't even know. You're like, oh damn, it happened again. Right. And sometimes I've seen guys talk, they just don't like their linemen. I mean, the linemen don't like their quarterbacks. I've seen it. You start seeing the quarterbacks who embarrass their linemen, throwing the damn ball down. Oh, for real? Okay. Right. Throw the ball down on me. For real?
Let them come right through.
You already don't get no damn love already. You're going to show me up? Right. Okay. All right. But luckily, our guys never did that. I used to tell Rudy and Corey out there, look, bro, when y'all score, you better come find us. Give us a ball, give us a something, because that's going to show. I told y'all earlier, in high school, I did not want to play offensive line as a freshman because why? The girls did not know what we were doing. Right. Mm-hmm. So when y'all run off and do y'all things, receivers, they got carte blanche to do what they want to do. Throw Chad the ball in the air, he can damn river dance. All you want to do is him and Carson. But y'all quarterbacks and running backs, you better come show us some love. Right. Now, Chad used to come to us on the sideline. We let Chad do his thing. But y'all quarterbacks and running backs start running off in the stands doing this shit right here and back to the J. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next play. You're gonna get showed that. But luckily our guys wouldn't do that. But that happens in the NFL. Right. Guys have to have a relationship. When Peyton Manning came in, he said he wanted them to put his locker right in the middle of the offensive lineman because they want to separate the quarterbacks because they put you over here. You better come talk to us, bro. You better come learn who we are and make us your best damn friends on the team. You know what I mean? I tell young QBs that in high school, who's your best friend? Oh, my boy is the kicker. What? You be getting your head knocked off, don't you? His dad say, yeah. He do. I said, they're boys. Your boys gonna help you up and fight for you and keep guys off of you if you're a good guy.
Right.
We didn't want Boomer to get touched. We didn't want Jeff Blake to get touched. We didn't want Carson and Kitten to get touched. They were good guys to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But go ahead, though, dog. I'm asking the question.
No, you good. So obviously you worked this past season at the Senior Bowl. You also did some offensive line work with Paul Alexander in Dallas. 2 linemen actually came from those 2 spots. So Hakeem Adeniji was at the Senior Bowl, and Xavier Suafilo, I think, was with the Cowboys when you were there. Can you just speak to like what kind of impact you see those guys having?
Well, I was with Paul 2 years ago at the Cowboys. You know, when these teams say the one kid, the Cowboys name again.
Xavier Suafilo. I think he's a guard, I believe, that they signed.
That's the guy we just signed. They signed him to a 2-year deal. He playing right guard.
From the Cowboys.
From the Cowboys. He was on the Cowboys, or he should have been when you were there, I guess, training, in Dallas.
So let me think back. Samoan guy?
Yeah, Samoan guy.
Yeah. Paul liked that guy a lot. You know, I'm sure the Bengals probably call, you know, he like because when I go to these NFL teams, yeah, I get a chance to help the starting guys, but really who needs help are those backup guys. Right. Those backup guys don't get enough help and reps because it's only 2 line coaches. When I was in Dallas for those 2 weeks, it was Paul Alexander, Mark Colombo, and myself. It worked out beautifully because everybody now, I know all Paul's stuff. Paul learned some stuff from me. I learned stuff from Paul over the years. And when he know I know his stuff the best. Right. So Paul actually paid me to come in. The Cowboys took care of my flight, hotel, but Paul paid me to come in and help him with his guys do that. So the guys who want me to work with, you know, Collins, the right tackle, but the backup guys who don't never get those times, and that guy right there was a guy that Paul really liked. He's a powerful guy because Paul loves them big, powerful guards, you know, the Bobby Williams type guards, those big, powerful type guys that can go move people and pass protect. So I remember him in Dallas as being a guy that Paul was real high on. So I'm sure they asked Paul about him because he was real high on that kid.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
And the other one was just Hakeem Adeniji. I think he was at the Senior Bowl. He actually was on the other team. And I think he's at a
kid from Kansas.
From Kansas, yeah.
So he trained my boy Duke Manyweather down in Dallas. Duke is a guy like me who trains. Duke deals with more pro guys. I deal with high school, college, and pro. Duke has been doing pro football guys a long time. Real good trainer out of Dallas, skill development guy. He had that kid a lot. I talked to that kid before the Senior Bowl. Before the combine, he wanted to go. He said, I'm from Dallas, so I'm gonna go train at Duke's facility down in Dallas. Makes more sense for me. I said, cool. I wished him luck. But he was a guy that I know several people thought he was gonna be a fourth round guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did. Like, you know, I know some coaches that had him at where he got drafted at. I know some guys that had him right where he drafted, but I had some guys that knew they thought he was gonna be at least a 4th round guy. Right. So the Bengals, I'm not gonna pub it up too much, but I think they got a better value than most people may think. Because he went like 7th round, right?
6.
Yeah, like 6th round. Right.
So I know his agent and a couple other guys, they really thought it was gonna be a 4th round, 5th round guy. You know what I mean? A guy who can move a little bit. I think it's some question about can he anchor? Because I mean, in the NFL, your tackle's got to be able to anchor, man. I tell guys all the time, they're gonna test your ass out. They're gonna test your jaw with that bull rush.
Right.
If you can't anchor, anchoring is not. You know, I wanted to help Cedric out. You know, back in the days, and a big miscommunication happened with that with the Bengals and myself, and you know, somebody was calling me to come ask, and somebody was telling me, we good. All right, but I try to tell guys, you know, hitting a tire in the offseason with a hammer and pushing truck won't stop a bull rush.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to learn how to, from your ankles and your back and your core, learn how to be in motion and all of a sudden see him coming to a bull rush where you can change your body up to harden your core up to boom, stop that bull rush. Because if not, Myles Garrett's going to test your chin out all game. That's in our division alone. At one time, you had Suggs in that division a couple years ago. The Ravens still got a couple of guys right now. Cleveland got a guy, huh?
TJ Watt, you got all of those guys.
Yeah, them boys gonna test your job because if you can't stop that bull rush, they're gonna set up every other move off that bull rush because they know the last thing my tackle wants to do is just put on his ass. I tell my guys, my first set was I'm gonna set to where with my body structure, I'm gonna look for the bull first because I know as a man, you want to test me. I know you want to test me. Oh, what a big ass dude! I'm gonna go test his ass. So when I show you that your bull rush don't even make me sweat, it takes your pride out of you. You know what I mean? Damn, I gave him all my might and I moved him 1 inch. Not because I was 340, because I seen 340 get put on their ass all the time. It was because I knew how to anchor my ankles. I knew how to anchor my core and engage my back. And I can tell that bull rush is coming at me at the last second. But you got to be trained for that. You got to know what to be trained for. I train guys for it now. But then for that, they're going to say, okay, he's a big guy. Big Willie's a big guy. I'm a speed rusher. Well, I want you to speed rush me because I have really good feet and long ass arms. I'm a basketball player. Your outside speed rush, that's easy money to me. Right. The move I don't want you to do on me is a outside up the field, spin back inside the last minute. I can't defend it. If guys would have known about me, I'd have gave about 50 sacks. But here's what I did. I knew that. I knew my weak point was an upfield, reverse inside move. But I also knew the ends that I faced, Julius Pepper would tear his damn knee up doing that at 6'7". Mm-hmm. Well, first, one thing about doing it, he's running a 4-3 trying to run past me. But when Robert Mathis came in the league at 6'1", that motherfucker can do an inside spin and an outside spin. I was like, oh shit. I was an old dude. I was like, oh, where'd that come from? So now I Bobby Williams said, Bobby, whenever there's a slide my way, you forget Richie. Richie, you gotta handle that fat ass nose guard by yourself. He ain't rush nobody. Bobby, bring your ass to me because I want to put on film one time. If you come inside, I got a 360-pound guard with a head this big. I'm gonna take your ass at him, and Bobby gonna crush your ass.
Right.
And once I get put on film, I never get inside moves no more. When the guys see them DNs making all that money, they come inside Big Willie, and your head and your skull getting crushed by I'm throwing you in the Bobby. They say I'm not going inside that, and guys want to rush me inside, bro. It's crazy. So you got to put on film what you're great at, and your weakness. You got to show them. I know it's a weakness, but it's gonna be hell to pay. You go inside of me, I try to hurt you. Really, I try to dive on guys' knees and fall on my bad. Are you all right? Okay, you going inside of me, man. I'm clumsy inside. So my bad. I fell on your knee. My bad. And guys will not rush me inside. So you got to train for this stuff, man. And I think I forgot what your main question was. I'll start talking about technique all day.
Nah, you good. You answered.
I love technique. Talking about technique off of the line because in football.
We got to break down. We got to break down film one day or something. Yeah. We got to do like a not a full game or something. We got to go like
break down technique. Yeah, because people say, I don't want to coach. I say I do want to coach, but off of the line coaches think players can't coach. Well, what I don't want to do, I don't want to sit in the film and watch one play. Why we can't run this play, bro? Just run that shit. Like coaches.
Do you think a lot of players like Jim Turner? Do you think Jim Turner would be open to having you as a consultant?
I don't know, man, because when you bring what I learned is any coach, if you bring Willie Anderson back to the Bengals to help the offensive line, that must mean we got a problem. We can't do it. That's how the guys feel. And no other position feel that way in the NFL except offensive line coaches. They'll bring in D-line guys to help. The Giants, if Lawrence Taylor wanted to help pass rush, then the Giants ever tell him no? Hell no.
Hell no.
My man from Dallas, what was my man from Dallas went to the Denver Broncos outside linebacker? Dallas Cowboys went to the Broncos. Where?
DeMarcus Ware. Okay.
DeMarcus Ware back in Denver all the time to do that. Robert Mathis became a coach. With the Colts, he was a pass rush specialist for 3 years. He wasn't doing nothing else but telling their defensive ends how to pass rush and do what he did at a Hall of Fame level. Offensive line coaches, they're territorial, bro. And they think that players can't teach until they start seeing you can teach. Like, I talked to Eric Bieniemy on Facebook last night. EB, don't forget about me. First thing he said, bro, I watch your videos all the time. Wow. You're a hell of a teacher. But he was a former player, had to see that, because all players can't teach. But I wanted to be a teacher, and I think I learned patience from my son. If my son, like Paul Alexander told me my 10th year, he swear he didn't tell me this. He told me this, I remember. He said, well, you're going to be a horrible coach. I said, what? He said, because all y'all great players, you think players can do the same thing y'all did. I said, well, not me, because I'm a Lakers fan. And I remember Magic Johnson being the Lakers coach one year with Nick Vanessa, and that shit didn't work out because Magic couldn't get Nick to be like Magic. Because Nick was a different point guard. So I don't try to make guys be like Willie Anderson. You know what I mean? Guys have to find their own niche, and you teach. What you teach is you teach us what his body can do. Some guys are longer guys, some guys are thicker guys. You teach him based off what his body can do. But sometimes O-line coaches is, it's my technique, this my way. We're gonna be punchers. I'm like, okay, you punch versus Von Miller and Aaron Donald, they're gonna go by your ass. Right. They want you to punch, throw your arm. They want that. But coaches like, that's my way, and really don't, so it gets territorial, bro. So I would love to do it. Right. I think Turner's a good coach. I think he's a hard-nosed guy. I had a chance to watch him at the Senior Bowl. He said things that verbally I knew he was talking about. Right. You know what I mean? Sure. So he's a hard-nosed guy, you know what I mean? But he's also, I think, technical. He can get the job done too, which is a big thing, because in football, coaching, training is the least thing you do. You spend more time in classrooms teaching plays. Right. That's why every team backup tackle is garbage down there, right? Right, for real. Because they don't get no time to get work done. You know what I mean? They always be garbage. You know what I mean? No, they get no time. Go in the game. Damn, for real? Out the blue? Because they're in practice, they don't get time. Every team is a third guy. I would love to be a consultant to work on skills and train whatever the head O-line coach want to talk. Give me these guys here. Let me teach these guys. Let me show you I can teach these guys here. All the play stuff, you can do all the play stuff. I don't want to do the play stuff.
Somebody said we need to send this interview to Zach Taylor, but at the end of that, I want to say, man, it's been so great having you on here tonight. Please let everybody know where they can find you again on Twitter and Instagram.
So my Twitter and Instagram, both the same name, Big Willie 7179. My academy is the Willie Anderson Lineman Academy. Yes, you can go find me at the Willie Anderson Lineman Academy.net. We also sell videos out of my other website, training.olineblock.com. Also, Paul Alexander and I, we have a series of videos too on Coach's Tube. It's called right. Coach Alexander and Willie Pass Pro stuff. We got about 140 Pass Pro drills. My tape on training.olineblock.com is just more of my philosophy on pass protection for tackles. And talk about your stance, your footwork, your eyes, break all that stuff down. So I've been doing that, man. I love doing that. I love giving that information to kids. We also run a recruiting program out of our thing. We help offensive linemen get recruited. That's one of our services that we have, because I think it's one of the it's the hardest position in college football to recruit for is high school offensive linemen. Everybody can find a Paris Johnson or Paul Chio or Chris Morris. My kid Paul Chio out of Milton, Georgia, going to Clemson, a freshman right now. Chris Morris out of Memphis going to Texas A&M. Them guys are all Americans. But the guys going to the mid-major schools, it's hard to find linemen. So we do a good job of promoting our guys on Twitter. We have a great relationship with over hundreds of offensive line coaches across the country. We got our guys scholarships, and it's fun, man. I love doing it with these kids. The pro stuff is good, but like I said, it means more to me in my heart to give what I know to kids and watch them grow to be the next Willie Anderson. Even if I don't make the Hall of Fame, I want guys like them guys I just named. I want Paris Johnson to one day be in the Hall of Fame. All my other guys behind them, Paul Chio, Chris Morris, all them guys. I want them guys to be in the Hall of Fame if I don't make it, because it'll mean more to me if I go make some more guys and help them reach their potential. I made the NFL. That was my goal. You know what I mean? I played for 13 years. So whatever these kids' goals are, free education, whatever it may be, I want to be able to help them kids do that. That means a lot to me.
100%, man. Well, this is the Orange is the New Black podcast. We just had Big Willie Anderson, a future Hall of Famer. We're gonna put that out there in the air, in the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
We had him on here, and we thank y'all for checking us out tonight, man. Who they?
All right.
Appreciate it, Willie.